Seattle Seahawks landed on this fan to kick off Thursday Night Football against the Rams. What is this, Animal Kingdom? Someone get a hold of these animals quickly. Come on, man. It's okay. All right, it was a rough weekend for kickers. The Packers and the Bengals game was the pick of worst nightmare that Evan McPherson lines up for a potential kick to win the game in overtime. He misses just right, but that's not the issue. He thinks he made it. Watch him celebrate. Yes, I won. Game winner. It's over. But let's look at the kid. Not so fast. The kid misses. You can't be celebrating the kick before you know the kick goes to the uprights. Evan McPherson, you know the deal. Come on, man. Like this good look. Missed it? On the middle. It's not a good weekend to be. Oh, a lot of extra points and field goals. Those missed it. Yes, a lot of them.
Closing in on kickoff. Time for picks. I believe it's unanimous.
Nobody's picking the Colts?
Well coached.
Start the Mayflower Chucks tonight on NFL Monday Night Football. We got the Colts and Ravens from M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland, along with the WWE Monday Night Raw, as they will continue their build to the WWE Crown Jewel pay-per-view a week from this upcoming Thursday. The King of the Ring and the Queen's Crown tournament will continue this evening on Raw as well, as Raw will begin in about a minute or so. Kickoff slated in about 15 or 20 on ESPN with Steve Levy, Louis Riddick, and Brian Greasy, with Lisa Salters on the call for Monday Night Football to wrap up Week 5 here in the 2021 NFL season. So hopefully you're ready for some football this evening, along with professional wrestling as well. NFL Monday Night Football, Colts, Ravens, WWE Monday Night Raw, live watch along reactions, live right here on YouTube. As always, I'm your host, Encyclopedia Sports, Cool Hand Luke 96. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. Thumbs up button, share, hashtag NFL, hashtag Monday Night Football, hashtag WWE, hashtag WWE Raw. Chat questions and comments, super chat, super stickers, always greatly appreciated. Cue the Monday Night Football theme as well, as the fans take the Ravens walk to M&T Bank for Monday Night Football, as we'll kick off momentarily with Carson Wentz, Lamar Jackson, the Colts, and the Ravens in prime time here this evening. Big question for myself, for at least the Indianapolis Colts, is with their new first-year starting quarterback, former Philadelphia Eagle, in Carson Wentz, can he pick up a big road win for them this evening in primetime against Lamar Jackson in the Baltimore Ravens? I feel like if they can get their running game going, continue to play good defense. Yes, they only have one win, started 0-3, defeated the Dolphins last week. Now on the road again in Baltimore, taking on the Ravens. Ravens, just as the Raiders were on Monday night last week for the second time already this season. Ravens once again here tonight as well, as they actually played the Raiders on the road week 1. Now they're at home on a Monday night. So that game, of course, came down to the wire, went to overtime. I doubt this game will go to overtime. Hopefully we won't have a weather delay for the third time in a week. Second consecutive on a Monday night by any means. Of course, last week, Raiders, Chargers, weather delayed before the game even started, so we didn't get underway until about 9 p.m. Eastern time last Monday night because of a lightning strike in Southern California. But a weather delay, even though we were still playing the game indoors inside of a dome that made absolutely no sense whatsoever. And then an hour, 15-minute weather delay last night at halftime on Sunday Night Football with the Bills and Chiefs from Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. Weather not going to be a factor tonight by any means. I feel like nobody's giving the Colts a shot. I feel like they'll keep it close. Baltimore's probably going to pull away late. I mean, hoping, as always, for a good game. Prime time here again Monday Night Football. Thank you for tuning in and listening. Audio only, live watch along reactions live right here on YouTube. I'm your host, Encyclopedia Sports. Cool and Luke 96. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links once again in the description below. But for the most part, about 80% of the, whether it's Thursday, Sunday, Monday night games, everything that's been played in primetime here a month into the season, other than a few games, it's of course 80% out of 100, have come down to the wire. A few game-winning kicks, a few overtime matchups. So we'll see how it goes, especially in the fourth quarter if Lamar Jackson has to go take a shit and then come back and lead his team to win. But, of course, a lot of history of these two teams. The Indianapolis Colts used to be located in Baltimore as the Baltimore Colts, but up and left in the middle of the night and made their way to the Midwest, became the Indianapolis Colts in the early to mid 1980s. Of course, Baltimore was without a team until the Ravens entered the NFL in the mid 1990s, following the Cleveland Browns' departure from Cleveland, and then the Browns re-entered right around 2000, and then the Texans at 32, and we've been put at 32 teams at a standstill for 20 years now. So a lot of history of these two, but as of late, it's really been, okay, Peyton Manning and the Colts dethroning, as it was, Kyle Bowler, Joe Flacco, and now Lamar Jackson when they'd meet up in these matchups. But then, okay, Andrew Luck played for not even a full decade, retired a few years ago now. Now it's Carson Wentz's team after a year with Phillip Rivers, who, after playing his whole entire career with the Chargers, a one-year rental, if you will, led him to the playoffs, and then retired after they lost to the Bills in the wild card round this past January. Indy traded for Carson Wentz back in March as the offseason began. Big question for me, like I said, can he lead them to a big road win in prime time, especially against Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens? I feel like for both teams, but more so Indy, they have to find a running game to help Wentz out. He'll dump it off to his targets, no doubt about it. Both quarterbacks will. But even with all that being said, I feel like this is going to be a ground and pound defensive ball game tonight. Going to be a lot of running the football, a lot of play action off of some bootlegs, and just keep the defense, of course, on their heels. What defense bends but doesn't break. Of course, Adam Vinatieri was still kicking. We'd arguably have two of the greatest kickers of all time in NFL history, facing off against one other this evening on Monday Night Football with Adam Vinatieri, but he's since retired. The other, of course, Justin Tucker, who kicked a NFL record game-winning 66-yard field goal on the road in Detroit a few weeks ago to defeat the Lions. But Indy now has Rex Becks himself and Rodrigo Blankenship, so rely on your kickers as well when needed. Rely on your special teams. Maybe it'll be a special teams game. I have no idea. I feel like, though, both teams are going to really try to establish this run game early and often. Hopefully going to be a lot of rushing yards tonight. And then really to add on to that, too, what quarterback's going to make more plays? Whether it be Wentz, whether it be Jackson, we'll see. Only time's going to tell. But then what defense bends doesn't break, as always. So hoping for a good one. Colts, Ravens, about to kick off here momentarily on NFL Monday Night Football before Week 6 will begin on Thursday night with the Buccaneers and Eagles. We'll have the second of two London games next week as well. Bye weeks will begin next week, too. We'll get into those. As always, coming up at halftime, first half stats and scores, along with taking a look around the rest of the NFL from Week 5, preview Week 6 as well. So stay tuned for that. Coming about a half hour of football or so. But also this evening, as mentioned, it is Monday night, so you know what that means. Must be Monday. Hashtag WWE Raw, Monday Night Raw is underway. We have Big E and Drew McIntyre currently in the ring with one another, face to face, as they're going to continue their build with their current program, their story, as they'll face off at Crown Jewel for the WWE Championship a week from Thursday. I'll have live watch all interactions live right here on the YouTube channel then on the 21st, so be sure to tune back in. Hit that red subscribe button, the notification bell next to it as well, so you can stay up to date. Social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, right here on YouTube, links in the description below. Also this evening, a women's tag team match before a SmackDown Women's Triple Threat Championship match at Crown Jewel as well. The tag team match this evening will be Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks as they'll take on Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch. As mentioned, the King of the Ring and Queen's Crown tournament will also continue, as it actually just began on Friday Night SmackDown the other night. Of course, WWE just coming off of the draft about a week and a half or so ago on SmackDown and Raw, respectively. Also this evening, it looks like Jeff Hardy will take on Austin Theory in a singles match at some point in time later on tonight on Raw. The Usos, in the meantime, as McIntyre and Big E are face-to-face, Usos come out. I guess we'll get a main event tag team match with McIntyre and Big E teaming up to take on the Usos. And then, if I'd have to guess, the big dog Universal Champion, who we should all acknowledge, we the ones, the one who sits at the head of the table, Roman Reigns, he'll come out and close out the show. Of course, these draft results don't take effect until the day after Crown Jewel on the 22nd, so a week from Friday. So they're still going, sort of back and forth with everybody on Raw and everybody on SmackDown. And then, of course, NXT 2.0. But take a look at this King of the Ring bracket, along with the Queen's Crown tournament as well. The King of the Ring, as on Friday Night SmackDown, Rey Mysterio and Sami Zayn had a match, as did Cesaro and Finn Balor. And the latter of those two was Sami Zayn and Finn Balor. They picked up wins. They'll face off in the semis this upcoming week on SmackDown. The finals of the King of the Ring and the Queen's Crown tournament are going to be at Crown Jewel. However, tonight on Raw, in the King of the Ring tournament, it'll be Kofi Kingston and Jinder Mahal, along with Xavier Woods and Ricochet. So those two winners will face each other, I'd assume, next week on Raw as well. If I'd have to guess, it'll be Kofi and Woods, and then somebody's going to go to the finals out of those two. Maybe they make it a triple threat. And then, of course, Big E as WWE champion, now on Raw as well. Maybe he gets involved. Who knows? I feel like the new king for the WWE King of the Ring here in 2021, making its return, first time in a few years. I feel like the king, it'll be Finn Balor picking up the win at Crown Jewel. And King Finn, King Balor, King Finn Balor, King Demon Balor, King Demon. I feel like Finn Balor is going to win the King of the Ring. And then in the Queen's Crown tournament on Friday Night SmackDown, we had Toni Storm and Zelina Vega face off. Vega won that. And then Liv Morgan and Carmella face off, and Carmella won that. So Zelina and Carmella will now face this upcoming Friday night on SmackDown as well in the semis there. Two matches on Raw this evening in this tournament. Piper Niven, Doudrop, of course, and Natalya. And then Dana Brooke and Shayna Baszler. And I feel like this Queen's Crown tournament has Shayna Baszler's name written all over it, as I feel like she'll also pick up the win and become the new queen of the WWE, even though, of course, that already belongs, storyline-wise, to Charlotte Flair, as she is a women's champion right now. Of course, on Monday Night Raw, but just drafted to SmackDown. Becky, your SmackDown Women's Champion, now on Raw. But we have that triple threat SmackDown Women's Championship match at Crown Jewel, as well as mentioned with Becky defending against Bianca and Sasha. And then they'll figure out the titles from there, if they're just going to switch them, unify them. Of course, they have the Women's Tag Team Championships as well. But now, in the meantime, as the Usos take down Big E along with Drew McIntyre, his challenger at Crown Jewel for the WWE Championship, we go backstage to Gorilla Position with the New Day. And I feel like since both New Day members, minus Big E, as both Woods and Kofi Kingston will go to SmackDown after Crown Jewel. Of course, I split them up again here. They'll have both of these men's King of the Ring qualifying matches back to back, if I'd have to guess. As mentioned, with Woods facing Ricochet, and then Kofi facing Jinder. And then we'll go from there for the rest of Raw. Of course, another 3 women's matches in at that point. A new tag team match is going to be added. So up next on Raw, it's going to be a first round match, Xavier Woods and Ricochet. And if I'd have to guess, Woods is probably going to win. Woods will probably go to the final, and I wouldn't be shocked if he does win the whole thing, just because he's been out there pulling for himself, making it known that he wants to be King of the Ring. But to make sense of it, I feel like best bet would be, like I said, Finn Balor and Shayna Baszler. And then we'll see what else happens on Raw this evening. They really don't have a whole lot else penciled in, advertised right now. But in the meantime, we're going to kick off on Monday Night Football, left to right, across your television screen, radio and audio dial. Colts on the kick from the goal line. Ravens, Devin Duvernay on the return out to around the 23, 24-yard line. So here comes number 8. 2 years ago, the NFL MVP, Lamar Jackson, former Heisman Trophy winner at Louisville. Baltimore, in the meantime, just as the Colts got bounced by the Bills in the playoffs, the Ravens a week later, up in Western New York, also lost to the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo defeated the Chiefs last night, Sunday night. Monday Night Football, we got the Colts and the Ravens. First and 10 officially from the 23. Out of the gun is Jackson looking to throw. He's going to go to double D, Devin Duvernay. He's going to break a tackle, get to about the 28, 29. Be second down, about 5.
Check out some of the key matchups for tonight. The stars on this side of football, obviously. You know, obviously you have to march up to the Mark Andrews, one of the best pass catchers out of the NFL. Marquise Brown starting to blow it up as far as the deep field passing game. Darius Leonard is a tackling machine for the Colts, and keeping up number 99, DeForest Buckner. He will have to show up over and over and over again tonight in order for the Colts to have a chance to win this game.
And Latavius Murray, the motion man, to the slot out of the backfield. Jackson just going to tuck it and run, and be brought down right at the line of scrimmage for a sack. Third down for Baltimore. 3rd and 5 officially. Here a minute into this 1-3, 3-1 Monday Night Football matchup with the Colts and Ravens. As one of these two, of course, used to reside here as a franchise. Of course, since moved, Baltimore, the current owner of the city, with the Orioles, as they don't have any other professional sports teams. Baltimore pass near side, Lamar Jackson intended for Sammy Watkins, incomplete. 4th down and 5, so here comes the punt unit, and Baltimore, a quick 3 and out, a minute and a half in. Indy back deep to receive.
Really big on big. Both of these guys have good speed. That's where Xavier Rhodes likes to live. Up on the line of scrimmage, that aggressive press man coverage, challenge of the catch.
From the 22 on the return, Nyheim Hines, number 21, gets to the 30. Be first and 10 for the Colts from there. Got an injured Colt on the return, holding his ankle. See if they stop it at all. Doesn't look like it. Looks like we'll roll on. Just like that 18-wheeler Mayflower did when these Colts left for Indianapolis. Now on the road on Monday night here in 2021. They got a first and 10 from the 30 against the Ravens. Tied up to 0 here early in the first. JT, false start by the left tackle. And number 79, the former number 1 overall pick out of Central Michigan, former Chief Eric Fisher, as Jonathan Taylor was in motion out of the backfield to the slot top of your screen. So Indianapolis, not even a play in, haven't even snapped it yet. Already shooting themselves in the foot, backing themselves up, going the wrong way, 5-yard penalty. Be first and 15 back at the 29. They're going to run the same play. Taylor motions out of the backfield into the slot top of your screen and trips in a bunch. First and 15, Wentz avoids a sack, throws it away, still goes down. Yeah, I don't know what the hell that was supposed to be. I have no idea what the hell he was doing on that. Of course, an empty set out of the gun, and good coverage by Baltimore, of course, no doubt about it. And he's just already running for his life, for God's sakes. And then where he threw it near side, there wasn't even anybody there. Like, he didn't even, and that ball was, this can't be a worst start for the Colts right now. Jesus Christ. Incomplete near side, almost picked off. Hit Jonathan Taylor right in the hands. Batted up in the air, incomplete. If there was going to be a interception on this opening drive, it would have been on that play, because there's a defender about a second closer. That would have been a pick six, and the Colts would be in a bigger hole than what they already are in, even though we're tied at 0. Screen pass. Jonathan Taylor's off to the races. Never mind. They couldn't have asked for a better start now tonight on Monday Night Football. So first 2 plays backwards, and then they go 76 yards for a touchdown. A simple halfback screen. Got a convoy down the far side. Some good blocking. And off to the races, Jonathan Taylor went. I saw him do that I don't know how many times in college at Wisconsin. But rather than this, it was a simple handoff up the middle, and they couldn't stop him running the football up the gut. This was a screen, and he still beat him on the ground. And the extra point by Rex Beck's number 3, Blankenship, former Dog, kicks up and good. So the Colts with an early 7-0 road lead now here tonight on Monday Night Football against the Baltimore Ravens. So Wentz with the passing touchdown. He's 76 yards on the night. 1 completion, 1 pass, 1 touchdown. Well, 2 passes. The one before that was dropped, of course. But, yeah, no. It didn't look good there for Indy there on those first 2 plays. Of course, false start. Actually, Wentz is 1 of 3. He did have that other incompletion, from what I can recall, yes. But nobody's going to care about those because he hit Taylor on the screen and he did the rest of the work and ran 76 yards for a touchdown. And then it was poor tackling by Baltimore in the secondary. But no, it didn't look good there for Indy at first. Backing themselves up, shooting themselves in the foot, going the wrong way. End zone's in front of you, not behind you. I mean, there technically is an end zone behind you, but it's not yours right now. You want to go ahead. And they did eventually, and they scored 7-0 if you're just not tuning in. But, you know, man, I tell you what, that drive should have been dead from the start, to be honest with you. Because, Wentz, after the penalty, should have went down on a sack. And then after that, the ball should have been picked off. 2 incompletions, of course. And then on 3rd and 15, they run a simple halfback screen. Okay, we'll get the penalty yards back, maybe a few more. But we're okay, you know, having to settle for a punt here early in the game, you know. Both teams go 3 and out. But no, Jonathan Taylor catches this ball, only the other one it dropped, hit him right in the hands, and fell incomplete. And nice juke move by him, and then he's off to the races, and 28 hits pay dirt for 6. And then Blankenship's kicks up and good, so a touchdown for the Indianapolis Colts, and they lead here 7-0 early on the road against the Baltimore Ravens on Monday Night Football. Couldn't have asked for a better start now. It was a 3-play, 20-second drive. So, of course, if he wanted to pick up the first down, they don't even have the ball for a minute and they punt it back. But they do score. They kick off again. Duvernay on the return out past the 25 to the 26. 1st and 10. Ravens from there. 12:53 to play in this opening quarter. Now, last time the Ravens were at home in prime time on a Sunday night against the Chiefs about a month ago, week 2, they got down at home early on, had a early deficit, but ended up coming back and won that game by a point, 36-35. As the Chiefs, who knows what's wrong with them? I said it last night, I feel like it's their defense. They don't have a running game. And now Clyde Edwards-Helaire's hurt, sprained MCL, going to be out for a few weeks, it looks like. Mahomes just trying to do everything himself, and there's no I in team last I checked. But now Kansas City's up and down all over the place, not consistent. They're not too one-dimensional. They're just not consistent right now, and they need to find a running game and play better on defense. They're giving up a lot of points, even if they are winning. They're 2-3, just like a few other teams. A few winless teams, a few unbeatens, and then everybody else is in the middle. 3-2, 2-3 right now. It's still early. A lot of football to be played in the season and in tonight's Monday night game. 2nd and 5 from the 31 now for the Ravens. Out of the pistol is Lamar Jackson. He's going to hand off, and that goes to number 28, Latavius Murray, the former Raider and Saint, now Raven, who was released at the end of the preseason in a little bit of a surprising cut. But he played week 1 for Baltimore against the Silver and Black Raiders. Of course, Vegas picked up the one in OT, but Baltimore's going to run the ball. You know that. They've led the league and have broken rushing records these past 2 years with as much as they run the football, for God's sakes. That pass on 3rd and 5 going to be caught near side. Mark Andrews, 89, the former Boomer Sooner. OU with a big win over Texas and Red River Rivalry on Saturday. Still should have about 4 or 5 losses on the year, though, right now, but picked up another win, and they're finding ways to win. That's an incomplete pass. That ball hit the ground. They're going to look at that. That's a challenge from the Colts. They'll win this. It'll be 4th down and 5, and the Ravens are going to be on to punt again. I'm going to say, hey, you want to go for it? Game's on the line? Yeah, let's go for it. Hell yeah. No, they'll punt. The Colts are going to win this challenge. Andrews did catch it, and then the ball right there hit the ground. He's not controlling. He's not possessing the football as he catches it and goes down, so that will fall incomplete. It is a catch on the field, so they have to find undisputed video evidence, of course, to overturn it. I feel like they will have just that, because that is a clear incompletion on the pass from Lamar Jackson to Mark Andrews. So it'll fall incomplete, be 4th and 5, Baltimore on to punt once we return. Back on Monday Night Raw, hashtag WWE Raw, hashtag King of the Ring with a capital K, capital O, capital T, capital R, or hashtag KOTR if you want. We got a first-round qualifier match on right now with Xavier Woods and Ricochet, with the winner to face the winner of Kofi Kingston and Jinder Mahal. So we'll see if we get a semis with 2/3 of the New Day, who, as mentioned, go to SmackDown after Crown Jewel, with the draft results not coming into play until the day after that pay-per-view, respectively, a week from Friday once again. So Raw hasn't been bad here the first half hour or so. Of course, you have the Drew McIntyre, Big E face-to-face to start. Usos come out. Of course, super kicks, and they announce tonight, later on Raw, soon will be the main event as thought, with Usos now in a tag team match against Big E and McIntyre, with, if I'd have to guess, like I said, Roman Reigns going to come out and Superman punch everybody and close out the show. And then they'll have one more SmackDown and then one more Raw next week before Crown Jewel. And then on the road to Survivor Series with the draft results, of course, coming into play then. So the call is reversed on the field. It's overturned. It'll go down as an incomplete pass on 3rd and 5, so 4th down for Baltimore, and they're going to be on the field to punt again here. That's an incomplete pass, yeah. That ball hit the ground, and it was moving. There's no way he caught that. None. So, yeah, another incompletion, and 2 3-and-outs on the 2 opening drives by the Baltimore Ravens here this evening on Monday Night Football, and we'll see if the Colts can go 3 plays, 20 seconds, and score another touchdown coming up next once Nyheim Hines fields this punt. So 4th and 5. Baltimore, as they blow the whistle, get reset here after that challenge. Of course, Indy will keep their 2 challenges, keep timeout as well as they want it. Punt up and away, fielded, fair catch actually at the 15. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the blue and white Colts from there. So, yeah, it wasn't a good start necessarily for these Indianapolis Colts. But, hey, third play's a charm. And they score a touchdown and take an early lead. Now they got the ball back. So, let's see what they do here. 1st and 10. At the 15-yard line. Going to start an empty with 2 receivers and 3 tight ends. And a pass over the middle going to be caught by Jonathan Taylor. 1st down, Indy, for a pickup of 12 yards. Xavier Woods, in the meantime, defeats Ricochet, goes up, and is now currently staring at the King of the Ring crown, as the thrones are right there by the entrance. Now, a recap from last week with the Backstage promo from RK Bro. They'll defend their Raw Tag Team titles against Styles and Almost Crown Jewel. Jonathan Taylor on the run, out to the 31 for a pickup of 4 on 1st and 10, so make it 2nd and 6. 10:30 to play in this opening quarter as the Colts lead at 7-0.
Second and 7.
Another give. This to Hines. Naeem Hines. Good 11-yard run up the gut. Another first down for the Colts. Run, 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 run. Expect a lot of it tonight. Both these teams. Especially when they're 2, 3, 4 deep at tailback. And plus, with every team, for the most part, going by committee in the backfield now. You got to have 2 running backs. I mean, you don't have to, but you have to. You got to. Because what if your number 1 goes down and you don't have a good, reliable backing them up to run and run the football for you? Pass going to be caught far side to 16, Ashton Doolin for a first down for the Indianapolis Colts here. 9 minutes to play in the first. Wentz out of the gun. Had a few men open, so he had his options. When Carson Wentz is being smart and makes smart plays, smart decisions, the Colts, well, when he was with the Eagles, whoever he's playing for, now in Indy, you're going to have a good chance to win. When he's getting pressured, of course, I'd say, yeah, the Colts have a better offensive line than what he had in Philadelphia, even with his MVP caliber season a few years ago. Of course, they went to the Super Bowl. He didn't win one because he got hurt. Big Dick Nick Foles won, and they should have got rid of Wentz then, and they hold on to him, and they finally do. Wentz is a good, reliable quarterback. It's just, when he gets pressured because they can't block for him or they can't run the football. They can run the football, though, in Indy with him. With Jonathan Taylor getting the give here again, 2nd and 6 from the 40. You get about 3, maybe 4 yards, be 3rd and short, about 3rd and 3. He makes boneheaded decisions. I get, okay, you're under pressure. You're acting as, okay, I got to do something real quick. Well, other than throwing it away, technically yes, but no, not really. Just keep it simple. Be smart about it. Move the ball. That's all you have to do. Move the football downfield. He has legs, last I checked, right? He's been banged up, too. That's the other thing Carson Wentz. He's had a ton of injuries in his NFL career after getting drafted out of North Dakota State. Over the middle on 3rd and 2, pass going to be caught. That is number 1, the former Buckeye from Columbus, Ohio, from Ohio State, Paris Campbell on the reception, first down for the Colts. But he can tuck it and run. I mean, look, Josh Allen last night, for God's sakes. He led the team in rushing, as both quarterbacks actually done so tonight. And not necessarily tonight by any means, but I wouldn't be shocked if Jackson does for Baltimore. But now Wentz under center, 1st and 10. Roll out near side, has a man. And that is going to be caught by 81, Mo Alley Cox. And he'll get about 8 on the reception, 2nd down and 2. As the Colts are hammering down right now. Moving the football. Balanced. Run. Pass. Maybe a trick play or two later on. But yeah, he can run it if need be. He can win you games. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. Naeem Hines on a 3-yard, more like a 4-yard run. That was, how the hell was that 2nd and 2? That was like 2nd and 3, 2nd and 4. It's about a 4-yard run for a first down pickup. And that's the thing with Indy, at least in their backfield right now, they're not banged up. Jonathan Taylor, Naeem Hines, of course, Marlon Mack once out. Got Jordan Wilkins as well, but On the flip side, I mean, Baltimore lost how many running backs even before the season began? And then they signed Devontae Freeman and Le'Veon Bell. Of course, Latavius Murray as well, and he's the true number one right now. And they still have Tyson Williams, if I'm not mistaken. But now our first penalty flag here. The refs last night would have had one thrown on the first play and every play after that. Took 10 minutes to get our first flag this evening. 4:50 to play in this opening quarter, and Indy on offense had too many men on the field on offense. 12 men. That's a 5-yard penalty. They'll replay it down. So clock continues to roll. And it is now 1st and 20. From the 29, 1st and 20 for the Colts. Back on Raw as well, as they are in the Bay Area with Jimmy Smith, Corey Graves on his porn stash, and Byron Saxton on the call. See what's coming up next. As that pass was complete on 1st and 20. For about a 10, 12-yard gain. 2nd down. They show the graphic on Raw with everybody drafted to the red brand. Their first show with everybody fully 100% in will be, 2 weeks from tonight? On the 25th? Yeah. We got Mansoor, Mustafa Ali taking on the Hurt Business, Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander. You can't do anything like that either. No stupid penalties, you back yourself up, and no stupid turnovers. Wentz getting pressured, goes down the sack. Was he down before the ball came out? That's the question. Was his knee down? No, that ball's out. It's a fumble. Baltimore recovers. Jason Owe, rookie out of Penn State, with the sack. And the strip sack fumble as Baltimore recovers. Indy had a good thing going there. Drove and scored on their opening drive after a ugly start, but third play, third time's a charm. They put up 7. Baltimore 2 3-and-outs. We'll see if third time's a charm for them to not punt again. If they can get a good drive going coming up next after the fumble recovery, see if they can capitalize off a turnover. But then the Colts on that drive, they were driving again. Balance. Run, pass, and turnovers kill you. Ask the Chiefs. They had how many turnovers last night? Turnovers kill you. Home, away, neutral site, I don't care where you're going to be playing at. Turnovers absolutely kill you. You turn the ball over, don't expect to win. I don't care how good you play on offense. I don't care how good you play on defense. You turn the football over, you're done for. Okay? Maybe make a play on special teams, of course. Maybe get a turnover yourself. And, it's for a touchdown or something along those lines. Who knows? But, yeah, it'll be 1st and 10 Baltimore when we return following the fumble by the Colts offense. And now in the meantime, on Raw, following the Hurt Business win over Mansoor and Mustafa Ali. Yes, they are going over to Saudi Arabia for Crown Jewel on the 21st, a week from Thursday. The King of the Ring and the Queen's Crown Tournament will continue tonight as well. But following that match, they now show us a flashback to Shayna Baszler attacking both Nia Jax and Eva Marie with the steel steps these past few weeks on Raw, along with Dana Brooke as well. Mustafa Ali sort of pushes Mansoor to the side. And it seems to me they're going to split them up. They might have a match at Crown Jewel with Mansoor going over. I mean, it would make sense, but only time's going to tell. But now Shayna Baszler coming out. She'll have A Queen's Crown Tournament qualifier coming up next. But in the meantime, 1st and 10 from the 19 for the Baltimore Ravens. And the handoff's going to go to I believe that was Devontae Freeman on the give. First, I'm seeing him in action with Baltimore. As mentioned, all their injuries seemed like in the backfield at the same position at running back. And then they had to go out and sign Freeman, who they faked the give to there. Pass over the middle, complete. That is a catch by Mark Andrews this time. Gets to the 37-yard line, 1st down and 10, Baltimore. No, but they signed Freeman. They signed Le'Veon Bell because they lost even before the season started. And I haven't watched a Raven game, or I have. I take that back. Watched them on Sunday night at home against the Chiefs week 2. I haven't called a Raven game, though, since week 1 on Monday night when they played the Raiders, as they lost, of course, as out of the pistol, Lamar Jackson going to hand off this to Tyson Williams, 34, who started week 1 on the road against the Raiders. Played well. Of course, Latavius Murray in that game as well against his former team. Had a touchdown, if I can recall correctly, as well. But, no, they lost J.K. Dobbins. They lost Gus Edwards. They lost Justice Hill. So it's Tyson Williams, it's Latavius Murray, it's Devontae Freeman. Still have Bell, who from what I had heard the other day, he was supposed to be active for tonight. Haven't seen him yet, so we'll see if that was true by any means or not. But Baltimore's still going to run the football regardless. They're not going to care who the hell's in the backfield running for them. They're going to run the football. If Baltimore as a team tonight doesn't rush for over 200 yards, I'd be shocked. 3rd and 4. A minute to play in this first quarter. Trying to capitalize off the fumble by Carson Wentz. As the Ravens can't, they'll go 3 straight 3-and-outs and have to punt again. As the Maniac, 53, Darius Leonard makes the stop after about a yard pickup by Lamar Jackson. And the punt unit, once again, is back out on the field. On USA, have a preview during commercial break for Monday Night Raw for Sunday Night Football next week, with the Pittsburgh Steelers hosting the Russell Wilson-less Seattle Seahawks. I'll have live watch-along reactions live right here on the channel next Sunday night. So be sure to tune in. Nyheim Hines on the punt return again out to the 20-yard line, and that's where the Colts will begin here. 7 seconds to play in the first quarter. Up 7-0 on the road on Monday Night Football against the Baltimore Ravens. 3 straight 3-and-outs by Baltimore. Who would have thought? This first quarter is absolutely flown by, too. I mean, hell, this time last week, we didn't even kick off yet because we had that weather delay out in L.A., even with the game being played once again inside of a dome. That made no sense whatsoever, even with rain. I get last night, but it started raining in the second half, and they played through it. So with the weather delay we had at halftime last night, why couldn't they, of course, come out and play in it just like you would always play in any type of weather for football? Makes no sense. It's like they're changing the rules as they go. From the 21, 1st and 10, as Zach Pascal's in motion, going to hand off. And Marlon Mack, he might want to stay in Indy because they have a 3-headed monster in the backfield as we hit the end of the first quarter. They have Jonathan Taylor, they have Nyheim Hines, and they have Marlon Mack. And he just ran 12 yards up the middle for a first down. But in the meantime, end of the first quarter, Colts lead the Ravens 7-0. Meantime on Raw, Shayna Baszler picks up the win in the Queen's Crown tournament. Hashtag Queen's Crown on social media. She defeats Dana Brooke. She'll advance to the semis. The finals will be at Crown Jewel a week from Thursday. She'll take on the winner of Doudrop and Natalia from later on. And then from SmackDown, as mentioned, it'll be either Zelina Vega or Carmella. But, no, yeah. I get the trade deadline's coming up about a month or so. Actually, less than a month. It's normally late October, but this year it's early November with how the schedule is. And as of late, the past few years, the NFL trade deadline, middle of the season, of course, it's sort of turned into how the MLB baseball trade deadline is, of course, at the end of July after the All-Star break. It really heats up. Teams are, making more moves than usual because, well, you can't make any trades from after the trade deadline until the offseason after the Super Bowl. So, of course, they feel like they can go out and make a deal with somebody and bring in a player that they feel is going to help out the team. And, as in baseball, we say have them help make a run to the playoffs, to the World Series, as baseball playoffs are underway right now as well. Then so be it. They'll do it. Marlon Mack, yeah, he sort of lost his spot because a few years ago he was the go-to running back in Indy. Of course, Jonathan Taylor takes over, and you still have Nyheim Hines and Jordan Wilkins there as well, and Mack's still there. So no wonder you asked for a trade, but honestly, I don't think they'll end up dealing them. They might, but if I'm him, I'm still, not playing a whole lot, but I'm getting my fair share of the work, and first run there went for 12 yards. He's still playing well, and the Colts are going to be in position in the AFC South to potentially win the division with the Titans. It's going to come down to them two because the Texans and Jaguars both fucking suck. So, we'll see, of course, what happens. Superman for Carson Wentz and the Colts on the audible. Out of the gun, right to left now, across the television screen, right in on Odell. Slant pass over the middle, going to be intended for 14. Zach Pascal, incomplete as he dropped it. 2nd and 10. Meantime, on Raw, we just had a Charlotte Flair promo backstage. Now, here comes the original bro himself, one half of the Raw Tag Team Champions, in Matt Riddle, riding a scooter to the ring. See what he'll be doing. As they had a RK Bro segment backstage in the locker room a little bit ago, too, as well, with Orton once again. Headphones on. Riddle comes up. Wants no part of it. And, of course, they cut and went to the next thing. And there's Matt Riddle kicking his flip-flops off. I actually caught one of his flip-flops at a show a few months ago now. Video right here on the channel, so be sure to go check it out. Along with all other professional wrestling videos. More to be published tomorrow, so keep an eye out for those, as I've attended a few events as of late. So, upcoming and all previous professional wrestling videos or events I've attended live in living color right here on the YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe. Riddle will be taking on Almost following this commercial break. 3rd and 10, pass near side for 11 yards. First down Colts. That goes to number 1 PC, Paris Campbell. As Carson Wentz is about to move the Colts into Raven territory again. Pass gonna be dumped off. 25, Marlon Mack for about 7 yards. 2nd and short here as we begin the second quarter. 7-0, Indy over Baltimore.
that's what we were talking about. Some of the missed tackles, some of the missed reads in the run game early. But those two guys, those are the ones that need to get back. It's the weak link of this defense. And Patrick Queen has a lot of potential. He's got to be better in space.
Handoff on the run and 2 yards. Be 3rd and 1. As now Indy, okay, they're going by committee as expected. You know, like I said, when you have a 3-4-headed monster in the backfield, you can rely on all 3 or 4 of them. I haven't seen Wilkins yet tonight, but it's been Jonathan Taylor, it's been Nyheim Hines, and it's been Marlon Mack in that order, and they're rotating them all in and out. So Baltimore's defense, even with that fumble and then they couldn't capitalize on offense, going to have to hold it down. Especially right now with the offense going 3 and out on 3 straight drives to begin the game. Jonathan Taylor on the run up the middle. Old school ground and pound smash mouth football. Simple handoff. And we're going to beat you in the trenches. This game's going to be won for the line of scrimmage. Because if Baltimore cannot stop this Indy running attack, we might have a long 3 quarters to play, at least for the Baltimore Ravens defense. Because even that turnover, they couldn't even capitalize off of it. I feel like the Raven offense will get going. Some teams start, then they pick it up, of course, come back and win. Some teams start fast, hold it steady, and whether they hold on to win or blow a lead and lose, well, then you go from there, of course. But now 2nd and 11 from the 45. Once again, that Superman audible and a handoff. And Marlon Mack for about 3 yards. So, simple run. But yeah, they got to stop this running attack. Because if not, they're just going to run the ball down the throat all night. Run the clock. Play good defense as they have shown already here tonight. And you're done for. So 3rd and 9 as the phenomenal A.J. Styles makes his entrance on Raw with almost by his side. Wentz goes down on the sack. 4th down. Indianapolis punt. Ravens are going to get the football back. Maybe that's the spark they need to gain some momentum, capitalize off of this, and try to get a good drive going once they get the ball back here on offense. And whether that's, of course, cut the lead if they kick field goal or score a touchdown, tie it up, we'll see. But the way this game's gone here early, of course, low scoring, a lot of running the football as expected, as mentioned earlier, about an hour or so ago now. This game feels like it's going to come down to the wire. And unless one of these two teams starts scoring one after another and doesn't look back. So fair catch by Duvernay. It'll be a 1st down and 10 for the Ravens inside the 20 when we return next on Monday Night Football. Hashtag WWE Raw. Riddle gonna take on Almost. Riddle on the mic. I've got a promo. If I'd have to guess, Orton's probably gonna come out, hit him with an RKO, give Orton and his tag team partner Matt Riddle the win, help him out at least in that regard. Of course, it fuels this story with RK Bro and Styles and Almost for the Raw Tag Team Championships at Crown Jewel, as those will be on the line a week from Thursday then. So, been an alright evening here this first hour. Still got some time to go though, of course. That's what with Monday Night Raw, it either starts out all right, I guess like first half hour, 45 minutes anymore or so, and then it doesn't necessarily go down the drain, but it takes a turn where right or left that it shouldn't have. And I mean, after that, it's as we continue commercial break on Monday Night Football. I don't know, just that middle part. Sometimes for the good, better. For the most part, worse. But you know, Styles now on the mic cutting a promo, probably getting the crowd involved here, trying to get some heel heat, shut him up a little bit. But no, just depending on the main event then at that point, it picks back up later on, but it's consistency. It's either that it starts out good, middle of the show it just like what the hell is this, basically, and then it picks back up sometimes, or it's as bell rings, match underway, Riddle actually going to slide out of the ring, attack Styles before almost going to pick him back up and throw him back in the ring. Handoff from Jackson to Williams. And he's going to lose about 2 yards. 2nd and 12 here, 10 minutes to play in the half. 7-0 Colts. And just hopefully, coming up halftime here, we don't have a weather delay. It'll be a sigh of relief. This game will be done in a second compared to last night. But, of course, then we'll get back to week 6 next week. Or it's on Raw, it's just from start to finish. It is just trash from start to finish. 2nd and 12, Jackson going to avoid a sack. Going to tuck it and run. And he gets a first down on a 13-yard gain. First down Ravens. So, almost could have had a win there. Had his foot on Riddle's chest for a 1-2, and then Styles on the mic giving some commentary, yelling, telling almost do this, do that, and now laughing his ass off because Riddle just got knocked out with a kick, and now they're waiting for Orton to come out. Will he? No, they're going to show a replay of it. And then almost still can 1, 2, 3 pick up the win. They're just dragging this out, buying some time right now. That's all they're doing. 1st and 10, completion from Jackson to Devin Duvernay again. He's feeling like the MVP of this Ravens offense here early tonight. At least on special teams as well, but another first down for the Ravens. They're starting to move the ball now. From the 38, 1st and 10. And Jackson on a quarterback draw, going to get to the 42 for a 4-yard gain, 2nd and 6.
It has not gone the way that I wanted to start this game, but he understands how fast it can shift. And with one play, with his legs getting that first down, to come back and complete one downfield, and now he starts to get a little bit of
So big power slam, AJ. Yeah, you can pin him now. 1, 2, 3, and almost defeats Matt Riddle. Okay, so the heels are going to go over. And then they'll lose. RK Bro will retain the tag titles at Crown Jewel a week from Thursday. Orton's going to come out because they're not done in the ring yet because Styles is getting in, about ready to cut a promo again. The 3rd and 3 for Baltimore. 7:27 to play in this first half. Been a decent game. I mean, not necessarily slow. I mean, Baltimore's trying to move the football, just, of course, 3 and outs. They got a good one going here. Colts didn't look good early, but then the 3rd play of that drive, and here comes Orton from behind. No, Styles, he was thinking the same because they had that camera angle just perfect. Now he's playing mind games. because they hit his music, and they, of course, have the camera from behind looking at the entrance with the competitors in the ring. And then Orton's nowhere to be found. He's not coming out from the front. He's not coming out from the back. Maybe he'll come out from the sides through the crowd. Maybe he's hiding underneath the ring. He's going to hit an RKO on Styles. He's going to hit an RKO on Almost. Riddle will probably get a takedown as well. Orton now in the ring from behind. There's a RKO to AJ Styles. Going to roll out. Here comes Almost, chase him down. Where's Riddle at? Okay, Riddle's out of the ring too. So Almost stands tall. But Orton, Riddle, even with Riddle's loss, they technically stand tall with the RKO beating down the heel in this rivalry, their opponent. So a punt by Baltimore. 4 straight 3-and-outs now. They can't move the ball hardly at all. I mean, at least that time they did get it a little bit closer to midfield, but they still have a punt. And it'll be 1st and 10, Colts again. But, no, yeah, it didn't look good early for the Colts. 3rd play of that drive that they scored. Fumble on their next drive that they had a good one going. And then just back and forth right now. I mean, a lot of running is really what team's going to have a better running game tonight. And then what defense is going to bend but doesn't break when the game's on the line. So we'll see what happens, of course, when we return. As we see a highlight from earlier on Raw with Big E and McIntyre. Now they're talking to each other backstage. They'll face the Usos in a tag team match in tonight's main event on Monday Night Raw. Like I said, Reigns, I think, make his presence felt. I don't know if they'll do it now. They definitely, I think, would next week on Raw with McIntyre going over against Big E, and then Big E going to retain the title at Crown Jewel, because then the draft doesn't go into effect, the results from it at least, until the day after. Nonetheless, still, they're going to switch up the titles, even after the draft, with Big E being drafted to Raw, Roman Reigns being drafted to SmackDown, but then had the Universal title with Reigns on Raw and the WWE title and Big E on SmackDown. And then the New Day's already on SmackDown with Woods and Kofi, so all hypothetical, of course. Definitely probably not going to happen anyway, so the main event match is still going to end in a DQ. It'll be an interference, I'd say, by Reigns. They'll probably still have a face-to-face. We'll go from there. So there's that for Raw. That's still tonight. That's going to be the main event for sure now. Yeah. But after the punt, 1st and 10 from the 18 for the Colts. Wentz under center. Going to hand off Jonathan Taylor for 2 yards. Here comes the almighty Bobby Lashley in a suit and tie. No MVP. He's still injured. Hurt business for the most part, though. Somewhat sort of back together with Shelton and Cedric, though, so that's a good thing. Meantime, 2nd and 8. Here comes this next play after that last play. Does Goldberg interfere? Does Goldberg come out and spear Lashley tonight? Probably not. Probably next week. Right before Crown Jewel. Because they'll have that at that pay-per-view as well. 2nd and 8. And 16. Doolin going to lose those 2 yards they gained on 1st down. So now 3rd and 10. However, we've got a penalty flag on play.
Kelly for center. Now they cannot afford to lose. She's been playing well tonight. While Kelly's attended to, we'll step back.
Okay, they're going to wait to announce the penalty. We're going to take a commercial break because of the current injury. That is to the former Alabama Crimson Tide offensive lineman, the current center for the Colts, number 78, first-round pick, Ryan Kelly. So, not a whole lot of injuries, not a whole lot of penalties. Thank God for that last part of that. For the latter, last night it was every goddamn play, it felt like. No, but not a lot of either this evening, which, I mean, really isn't that big of a shock, but at the same time it is. It's, not necessarily hit or miss anymore, but at least with the penalties. Injuries, okay. Somebody gets hurt, they get hurt. You never want to see somebody get hurt, though. Like, if it's a penalty, as I've always said, if it's a penalty, call it. If not, let them play. Okay? They sign up knowing they're going to get hit, knowing this, that, or the other can happen. And you just play. You move on. Okay? End of story. There's nothing else to it. So, we'll see how Ryan Kelly is. Not the basketball player, but the football player, how he is, and how Indy will move forward on offense through the remaining part of this game tonight. And if Carson Wentz can make some plays, and like I said just at the start, my big question is, can he lead his team to a big road win here tonight on Monday Night Football? He's a new Colt. We know what he did in Philly, okay? But here early, it's an 0-3 start, 1-3 after a win last week. He's been banged up again. He got hurt there end of July, early August with a foot. And, of course, they thought, and now we got breaking news. And, oh my God, are you serious? Really? The Raiders and John Gruden are going to part ways after a review of emails shows of use of racist and anti-gay language when he was working for ESPN 10 years ago as a broadcaster. So he lasted 4 years in Oakland with the silver and black before they traded him to Tampa. Won a Super Bowl with the Bucks. And then of any firing here early this season, wow, I have no idea what to think nor say right now. Wow. I guess the Raiders got more emails. They're parting ways. Gruden reportedly plans to step down. He is resigning. So they didn't fire him. He is resigning. But he's still without a job again. And he's probably not ever going to coach the NFL again as a head coach, at least. Let alone work for ESPN again as a broadcaster, because those emails were sent. Once again, just trying to dig up shit from the past on people. This damn cancel culture shit needs to stop. And yeah, John Gruden is going to resign. He's going to step down after emails containing racist, sexist, and anti-gay remarks were made public. So they'll have more on this at halftime. We're going to take another commercial break. So before we move on with John Gruden and the Raiders, as they started 3-0 too, they were on a 2-game skid. Lost yesterday at home against the Bears, which will go down as his final game once again as their head coach. Wow. Was not expecting that. Hell, he just signed a 10-year, $100 million deal to bring him back. They moved to Vegas. So start the rumors. Who's going to be the next Vegas Raider head coach in 2022? One name comes to mind. He's already in the division. And not necessarily for the Raiders to make a splash, but to make a statement, I guess you could say, because of these anti-gay and racist remarks that were to the NFLPA president and DeMaurice Smith, who just got reelected again. And this person's name that I'm about to say has been a potential candidate at the college level, NFL level, as an up-and-coming coordinator. Should have already gotten an NFL gig, but he's still the offense coordinator for the Kansas City Chiefs, and that's Eric Bieniemy. And that would sort of be a statement with this going down. He is a good coach, and he should be a head coach, but not necessarily because of this, even though it would, of course, move him up the ranks, and he'd become a head coach at that point, but because he's also African-American, he's black. And I'm not being racist by any means, but that's just how some shit goes sometimes. That's a big, holy shit. Breaking news. John Gruden, the Raiders, part ways. He resigns. He's no longer the head football coach of the Raiders, effective immediately. Wow. Wow. Just wow. He's the first name that comes to mind for me, for the Raiders. And then there's news this morning that Derek Carr was going to wait out his contract and they'd negotiate in the offseason. Hell, with Gruden not going to be there, who knows where Derek Carr is going to be now, because Derek Carr's sort of that John Gruden quarterback, even though he, isn't. But look what Derek Carr's done this year with the Raiders. We'll get back to this game, and we'll get back to Monday Night Raw here in a minute. But, who knows what the future is going to hold now? Because there was emails that came out late last week. He coached yesterday. They lost to the Bears 20-9. And then I guess there were more emails that were made public or the Raiders got their hands on. And, they part ways. Just wow. I was not expecting that. That's a shock. But Eric Bieniemy's name would be one to pop up. I think he would be the leading candidate for that Raider job. He stays in the AFC West. He's the current chief offense coordinator. Of course, the Chargers are getting better. The Broncos just lost their second in a row yesterday as well. But that division along the NFC West right now are still the two best divisions in football. Okay? So that's what I'm thinking right now. But yeah, he doesn't even last another 4 full seasons with the Raiders, as he coached them for 4 years, 98-02. Traded in the offseason the Bucs. Tampa beat them in the Super Bowl the next year. Coaches them until, 2007, 2008. Retires. And then gets back into it just a few years ago, after he worked for ESPN and Monday Night Football for about a decade. Goes back to the Raiders. And then all this shit hits the fan. And just like that, in a split second, he's gone. He's fired. They part ways. He resigns. They didn't fire him, but he's still without a job. He's no longer the coach, plain and simple. So now the big question is, this is a big statement to begin with by the NFL and by the Raiders. He probably felt, as he's even said, sorry, I don't know how many times over the past few days, that doesn't have a ounce of racism in his body. that he probably knew he wasn't going to win this fight. And he just, keep getting asked these questions until it passes over. But who knows if it was ever going to do that, because especially if there was even more emails that just came out, and now as we hit another commercial break on Monday Night Football, and Bobby Lashley's in the ring on Raw. I guess his match with Goldberg will be no holds barred, so that should be a good one, all jokes aside. In quotes, sarcasm, of course. Sasha Banks now backstage as well. Yeah, Gruden had said in one email, I don't know what's new in the newer ones, but he said, as DeMaurice Smith is also African American, he's black, the leader of the NFLPA, said he had lips of Michelin tires. So that's what cost John Gruden his job here in 2021. And Schefter's going to have more on this at halftime. I'm getting notifications, of course, here on my end. Like I said, was not expecting this. Yeah, I guess he sent more emails. There were additional leaked emails from Gruden that showed the current Raiders coach of using anti-gay, sexist, and racist remarks. So we'll see where this leads. I mean, like I said, if any coach was about to get fired, I didn't think it was going to be Gruden. It would have been Urban Meyer. With all his shit going on, they're 0-5. And just as the new Chucky show starts tomorrow, Chucky, John Gruden, gets let go. He resigns. He's no longer the head coach of the Raiders. So, just win, baby. Well, you might just want to go line up at the unemployment office. He's not going to care. He doesn't give two fucks. He's going to, like they had something good going this year, and I felt like they did. I mean, not really that shocking, but, and they did it, I guess, right at the right time. Break it right before halftime of Monday Night Football, when you know everybody's watching. You know the story is going to blow up. You're going to get attention from it. In a good way, but then also a bad way for him. Of course, there's pros and cons to everything. You hate to see somebody lose their job. But that's where we're at right now. So I'll get back to talking Gruden here in a minute once we get some more details, and I'm sure I'll add in with what I've already stated. But on Monday Night Raw, as mentioned, we had Lashley in the ring, cut a promo for his match against Goldberg at Crown Jewel. There'll be no holds barred now. And then Sasha Banks cutting promo backstage. Looks like the Jeff Hardy-Austin Theory match is going to be next. We have a Chucky commercial in the meantime, so Speak the Devil with Chucky, as that debuts tomorrow night. So the new Chucky TV show, not the movies. Not the movies. Not Child's Play, no Chucky. It's a new TV show. See a commercial for that, as he was actually watching WWE Monday Night Raw. Well, the show's going to be on USA and Sci-Fi, so, of course, cross-promotion, it makes sense. But back to this Monday night game with the Colts and Ravens, still 7-0, okay? 7-0 Indy. Where we left off, from what I can remember we had that injury? They took a timeout. Then they came back from break. Breaking news, John Gruden is no longer the Raiders head coach. He has resigned. They part ways. John Gruden's out. I'm sure his house will have a for sale sign out front by the end of the year. He'll probably be in the casino later on tonight. We're already at the 2-minute warning here in the first half. All jokes aside, though, no, you hate to see somebody lose their job. That sucks for the Raiders because they had a good thing going. Like, if they just would have waited it out and he didn't decide to resign, it might have blown over, it might have not. You know? Might not have. That play, Jackson had a few men open. I mean, what a month. Week 1 Monday Night Football, the Raiders hosted these Ravens. Raiders were just on Monday night last week on the road against the Chargers. Their first loss. They lose yesterday. But they don't fire him because they weren't winning or losing. They fire him. He resigns for sexist, anti-gay, and racist remarks that were in an email 10 years ago. So just think if yeah, that should have been a touchdown. Colts going to time out. Just think about your past for a minute. Go down the history road here for a second. Just when you think, you know, you don't have any dirt on you, or if you want to dig dirt up on somebody else, well, nowadays it's like anything can happen. You got to watch what you say to whoever it is, whether you know them as good as you think you know them as or not. And, of course, I saw a meme after all the Urban Meyer shit that, like, he was saying, talking on his phone, like, you think this is bad, wait till you hear what I have to say about John Gruden. And then, of course, yeah, so the first coach let go at the NFL level is John Gruden this year. Who would have guessed it? I sure as hell wouldn't have. Now, if they wouldn't have won this year, you know, finished like below 500 again, or just not even necessarily missed out of the playoffs, but like any more, 3-4 years is it, and you're out. They gave him a 10-year deal. I don't know if they're going to have to pay him on a buyout. Probably not if he resigned. But I'm sure there's going to be some settlement of some sorts, but who knows. So now 3rd and 4 from the 5 for the Ravens. Jackson pass incomplete. Tender for Hollywood Brown. They'll have to attempt the field goal here to cut it to 4 with 1:39 to play in this first half. So we have missed a few minutes of this game. But from what I can remember, the last time we were in with this was that injury. It took a timeout and came back. John Gruden news breaks. Colts had the football. As I was, of course, in my head, getting my thoughts straight, trying to wrap my head around this news, comprehend it all, continue to watch Monday Night Football, Monday Night Raw side by side as well. Field goal was up and good, by the way. 7-3 Colts as Ravens cut it to 4 with 1:36 play now in this first half here in the second quarter. The Colts continue to drive, punted. They might have gotten the ball back again. Ravens just drove and put up some points there to cut it. So I'll leave it at that. Really nothing happened, so we didn't miss much anyway. Now this match with Jeff Hardy and Austin Theory is underway on Raw. So we'll let Raw continue here. About an hour and a half or so in. About an hour in here in this first half for Monday Night Football as well. About halfway through the night. But the big breaking news right now is John Gruden is out as the Raiders head man once again. They didn't trade him to the Buccaneers this time. No. He resigned. John Gruden is no longer a member of the Silver and Black. Whether they're in Oakland, LA, Oakland, Vegas, they're still the Raiders. They're the Silver and Black. He's no longer their head coach, though. So who do they hire? Hell, who's going to be the interim? That's going to be the big question. If I'd have to guess, I wouldn't be shocked if it's going to be Tom Cable, who I believe is the offensive line coach for him, as he's already had a stint as their head coach as well. Of course, they didn't have a good record by any means, but he went to Seattle after that stint, was their offensive line coach. When Gruden got the job, went back to the Raiders, and I mean, experience is everything. Don't be shocked if Tom Cable, keep an eye out for his name, he's going to be the interim for the rest of the year for the Raiders. I don't know that for certain. I'm just guessing. Of course, I haven't seen anything. Hell, I haven't even read any of the articles other than the headline. And I think everybody still is just trying to make something of this John Gruden news with him being no longer the Raiders coach. So, flag on the play, minute 33 to play in the first half here. Going to have an offside on the Ravens. So we'll dive into John Gruden here at the half. I'm sure we'll have another update, because they just came in with the breaking news real quick, and back to the game, of course. First half stats and scores is always coming to half as well. Take a look around the rest of the NFL. What happened week 5, preview week 6. Bye weeks begin next week as well. The Raiders, though, they won't be on a bye until as this week, Atlanta, New Orleans, the Jets, and 49ers are on a bye. Of course, the Falcons and Jets coming back from London. So the following week, week 7, week 7, the Jaguars and Dolphins should have a bye, or the Dolphins playing the week later. Now, Miami has a late bye week, so they're not going to play until or they will play after their London game, which is normally odd, because you go overseas, you normally get a bye week the next week, as do the Jets and Falcons next week, because they played over there yesterday. But the Raiders, they don't have a bye week until week 8. So they got 2 more games before, as the next 2 weeks, the Raiders will play, as I look at the schedule here, before their bye week. Raiders are at the Broncos next week, and then they host the Eagles. And then they're off on Halloween. So I wonder if Gruden will go as Chucky, since he's not going to have a job and he'll have some free time now. They have a big Sunday night game about a month or so from now at home against the Chiefs. Look further ahead here. They actually play at Dallas on Thanksgiving as well. So he's not going to have to go to the Big D on the first of the 2 major holidays this upcoming holiday season, as always, the final Thursday in November for Thanksgiving. He'll be able to stay at home with his family now. He won't be coaching against the Dallas Cowboys. That was going to be a good big game as well. Like the Raiders, as they played the Ravens at home week 1. They play at the Colts early January, week 17. Before week 18, of course, 17 games with the new schedule. But, yeah, you can't hardly say anything anymore. Because regardless if it's a minute after you say it or it gets published on social media, an hour, a day, a week, a month, a year, a few years, 10 years, for God's sakes, for Gruden in this instance, people have way too much damn time on their hands, as Sticks would say, and are once again still trying to dig shit up on people and cancel everybody. Hence cancel culture. And like I said, I feel like the Raiders were destined to, the way they started, 3-0, of course, 2 in a row now on the losing end of it. 2-game losing streak here. Colts going to go for 4th and 11 from the 38, 10 seconds to play in this first half. And it's going to be complete. And then, well, they have a timeout, so if it doesn't get out of bounds, stop the clock, still only 3 seconds anyway, they still would have kicked it right here anyway. So, yeah, it was complete to number 11, Michael Pittman, who played at USC, and USC is looking for a new head coach as well after they fired Clay Helton there a few weeks back. Of course, James Franklin from Penn State, his name's come up. Urban Meyer, especially after the situation he's been in as of late with the Jaguars, if they're going to part ways as well. Try to fire him for cause. And then, he's free to do what he wants if he goes to USC. And if he goes to USC, this is Urban Meyer, he's going to win just like he did at Florida and Ohio State. You can already guarantee that. Or I can already guarantee you that. And I feel like everybody, you and myself included, know that for 100% certain. So here comes a field goal. And 1st and 10 on a 42-yard kick, but it's going to be up and no good. There's an offside, but they didn't throw a flag. Now there's a flag, so they'll re-kick from 37 yards out. Yeah, I don't know why the punter is kicking. Now here comes Rex Beck's Rodrigo Blankenship. Maybe he can't kick more than 40 yards for some reason. Or maybe he wasn't ready. Maybe he was changing cleats or something. Who knows? And then Nyheim Hines, for some reason, was holding as the holder. The running back was the holder. Normally it's the punter. Yeah. John Harbaugh saying, why did you jump? Why'd you jump off sides? They missed the kick. But 5 yards on the offside, they're going to re-kick. And watch, the Colts are going to make this now. And they'll take a 10-3 halftime lead here on Monday Night Football. So they'll get an untimed down. They'll re-kick it here from 37 yards out. And now it'll be Rodrigo Blankenship for the kick. And this kick going to be up and good. 10-3 now at the half. So they missed it. Offside penalty, of course. Re-kick it, and they make it. And the Colts are also going to get the ball to begin the second half as well. So, yeah. We're going to have a big halftime report, big update on John Gruden from Adam Schefter. So we'll see what he has to say here in a second. And then we'll recap first half here, first half stats and scores, take a look around the rest of the NFL, preview next week as well. But now, how do the Raiders move on from here? I honestly have no idea. I have no idea. They're going to get right to it. They take a split screen commercial rather than a full commercial break before halftime. And the breaking news is John Gruden is no longer the Raiders head coach.
Breaking news tonight. John Gruden, as Las Vegas Raiders head coach,
Emails show use of racist and anti-gay language over a period of years. Yeah, it started on Friday when the emails got released to the public. DeMaurice Smith, NFLPA exec. NFL is closely monitoring the situation. Then there are more emails released. Gruden offended NFL owners and the commissioner as well. Mark Davis arrived at the Raiders facility, and they part ways. So who's next? That's the big question. Who the hell's next? Because if they can fire John Gruden for this, they can get rid of anybody. They don't care how much you win, how much you lose in a situation like this.
It takes all of us. Inspire change. So we're trying to get rid of the very things that John Gruden is promoting through his personal emails. And so this is something that had to happen. I think a lot of people in the Raiders organization...
Of course, NFL with their...
Because if it didn't happen, it was going to be constant questions over and over and over. And that's unfair to everyone except John Gruden. On Friday, when the first email about DeMaurice Smith surfaced,
promotions that they run for... Whether it's, you know, for just this week, this month, the whole season, you know, to change this, change that. You know, 4 years in, once again, he lasted 4 years before. They traded him to the Bucks. I mean, everything happens for a reason. He retired about 12 years ago, got back into it 4 years ago. 4 years later, he's out as the Raiders head coach again. So I really honestly like to see the emails and see what else he said about the other owners and the commissioner, because it was just about the leader of the NFLPA, the main exec, and DeMaurice Smith, who once again Gruden said he had lips of Michelin tires, and then it blows up with more emails, and John Gruden's out. The interim's probably going to be Tom Cable, if I'd have to guess. I mean, I'll take a look at the Raiders' assistant coaches, and other than Tom Cable, I doubt there's anybody worthy, along with that has experience, to lead the team the rest of the way.
This was the way we all knew it was going to go.
Leave it at least special teams coach Rich Bisaccia.
Rich Bisaccia, there you go, Susan.
Assistant head coach now. And oftentimes special teams coaches do become interim coaches just because they're dealings with the entire
team. It makes a lot of sense. I know Coach Bisaccia from Tampa. He can coach all aspects of the team. He knows, he has a relationship.
Okay, they're reporting now.
He's been willing to be a head coach on some level. So this is, again, John has to deal with his own issues. This is an opportunity for Rich moving forward. And there's good men in that organization. Rich Bisaccia, Vince Bradley, Ron Marinella. There's some good men for the Raiders.
That Rich Bisaccia, who has 18 years experience as an assistant in the National Football League. He is currently the assistant head coach along with the special teams coordinator. I guess he'll be the interim moving forward. If I'd have to guess as well, Deuce, his son's going to be out as the strength and coordinating coach.
His players and coaches, people who all
This is like
head of the organization. We'll be back.
You're watching the
absolutely mind-blowing. Like, was not expecting this whatsoever. Yeah, Tom Cable.
for the military community.
I mean, Greg Olson, the offense coordinator, potentially, but no, I guess they're saying it's going to be Rich Bisaccia. Let me call up Rick from Pawn Stars and see if he wants to be the head coach of the Raiders moving forward. They'll have to make a splash with whoever they hire moving forward because, well, they're in Vegas, of all cities, and they were starting to win. I mean, the Raiders have always won, you know, but yeah, they've had their ups and downs throughout the years, but just as anybody has, but they're going to have to hit a home run with whoever they hire next. But then at the same time, knowing the Raiders, they'll probably hire somebody that, okay, he'll just be a middleman for a few years. Till a few years from now, somebody else will come up in the ranks as the hot commodity that teams are going to want to hire. But like I said a bit ago, I feel like Eric Bieniemy, it should be his job right now. They should go out and hire his ass. But yeah, John Gruden out as the Raiders head coach. So 2 straight days, 2 odd half times. Last night, hell, it was a weather delay for an hour. Now we have a head coach fired that nobody was expecting to get let go. He part ways. He doesn't get fired. He resigns. Okay? He resigns. He's stepping down. Does not get fired, but he's still not going to be the head coach. So I guess they're calling it an email scandal. Gruden is planning to resign after emails uncovered from his past included racist and anti-gay along with sexist language, per the New York Times. It's over. Their marriage, once again, is over. It's like, okay, he had 2 stints as the Raiders head coach. It's like you get married to somebody, however long you're married to him for. Well, it was 4 years apiece. But then you get divorced, move on to somebody else. Maybe even move on to somebody else after that. But then you get back together, get married again, and then get divorced again after that. That's what this is.
Included in the multi-sport club. Order today.
Ian Rappaport tweeted, the NFL has been waiting for the Raiders to respond to John Gruden's emails. So Mark Davis and Gruden mutually part ways. Gruden responds in telling his staff and then players that he's out. So Gruden, I'm done. It's over. I'm resigning.
Find a Northwestern Mutual advisor at nm.com.
Introducing Grubhub Guarantee.
Gruden denounced the emergence of women as referees, the drafting of a gay player, and the tolerance of players protesting during the playing of the national anthem. Well, especially that last part, you don't take a knee during the national anthem. You stand up, hand over your heart, salute, and you let the 2-minute Star Spangled Banner play. It's out of respect for the United States of America, the greatest country on fucking earth. End of story. So yeah, I'll read that again for the last part of this, and I'll say once again. Gruden denounced the emergence of women as referees. We have how many women now as officials? That doesn't bug me one bit. The drafting of a gay player, who was Michael Sam back in 2014. Of course, he wasn't anything special anyway. got cut by the Rams. Of course, Carl Nassib just came out as the first ever openly gay NFL player on an active roster, and he plays for the Raiders. They signed him from Cleveland and Tampa, as he was an undrafted free agent out of Penn State, former walk-on right here in Happy Valley for the Nittany Lions. And then just before this season, he comes out as gay, but that has nothing to do with it. They're rolling that on the bottom ticker, but no, as Gruden even said in his press conference, there's not a bone in his body that's racist. He's coached how many players through all the years he's been as a coach in football, whether that's as an assistant or head man, of course with the Raiders, the Bucs and the Raiders again, that are of all walks of life. And hell, even last night during Football Night in America before Sunday Night Football, and then during halftime with the weather delay, they reiterated, as Mike Tirico works for NBC now, but he was calling Monday Night Football with John Gruden when these emails would have been sent 10 years ago. Okay? We're going to start the second half here in a minute. We'll still update first half stats and scores. Of course, take a look around the rest of the NFL as well when we see fit here coming up shortly. But Tirico even said, like, this isn't John Gruden. Never heard any of this. And hell, even the Raider great himself, Tim Brown, said the same goddamn thing. But as always, it's always the person you least expect. You just hate to see Gruden go out this way, no doubt about it. He'll land on his feet. Where? I don't know. If at all. Again, in the NFL, probably not. Will it keep him out of the Hall of Fame? If I'd have to guess, probably. But, time heals everything. But that just shows you how much the world's changed in the past, however many years you want to insert to the end of that. So, yeah. I guess he also exchanged emails with former Washington Redskin, now Washington football team, or whatever the hell their nickname is going to be next year, President and Bruce Allen, and other men that included photos of women wearing only bikini bottoms. Shout out SpongeBob. Including one photo of 2 Washington team cheerleaders. Well, then you got Dan Snyder with the Skins, and see all the reports with the cheerleaders in the past years. And hell, one of their strength coaches right now is under investigation with the damn DEA right now. So basically, this is a fight once again against racism. Don't be shocked if BLM restarts up again because of this, at least in the NFL. But in the end, John Gruden is out as the Raiders head coach once again. Okay, we got a flag on the play here. Opening drive of the second half for the Colts, with a touchdown on the same play as well. So we'll see what the flag is. It's on the Raven defense. It'll be declined. It'll be a touchdown for the Colts. Take a 16-17-3 lead here early in the third quarter. Pass interference on the defense, decline, touchdown, Baltimore. Or touchdown, Indy, excuse me. As Michael Pittman caught at the 10 and walked in the end zone for a touchdown. The ref then threw the flag after he caught it. Is he down? He's down at the 1. That ball's not across the goal line, so to speak, in the end zone for 6. He's down at the 1. It'll be first and goal at the 1. They'll look at it. Then the penalty will be half the distance then. It's a 42-yard touchdown. But they're going to say touchdown. Okay. Because they already would have looked at it because all scoring plays are, in fact, reviewed. So this Raven defense just not there tonight. They're not. They're not playing well. They had that one sack. That was a fumble, but they couldn't capitalize on offense. Blankenship misses the extra point. It's no good. 16-3 with 13:59 to play in the third quarter. Okay. That's why I said at the start, nobody was giving the Colts a shot to win this game. But if they can find a running game, open up play action, play good defense, keep it close. The Ravens might pull away late, but they haven't done a damn thing on offense all night. They haven't. Their best drive was when they drove right before halftime and kicked a field goal to cut it to 4, 7-3. And then the Colts even got a field goal before halftime, 10-3, and then they scored on their opening drive here in the second half, just as they scored on their opening drive to begin the game, with a 70-plus yard passing touchdown from Carson Wentz. As it was from 76 yards out on a halfback screen to Jonathan Taylor to take an early 7-0 lead. Of course, they had a field goal. Both teams actually do. And then to begin the second half here, the Colts score on another 70-plus yard passing touchdown from Carson Wentz. This from 73 yards out to Michael Pittman. Of course, pass interference on the play as well. It's declined. It's a touchdown. Extra point then up and no good. But 16-3 is your score here a minute into the second half. So some first half stats and scores plus a minute or so into this third quarter, if you will. Carson Wentz, as he just threw his second passing touchdown, he is 16-23 for 262 passing yards and 2 touchdowns, whereas Lamar Jackson, as the Ravens trail by 13, is 8 of 11 for 107 passing yards. Jackson also leads the Ravens on the ground, 6 carries, 30 yards. Nyheim Hines, 3 carries, 18 rushing yards. Marlon Mack, 3 carries, 17 rushing yards. And JT, Jonathan Taylor, 5 for 10. Latavius Murray, Devontae Williams, Tyson Williams, basically non-existent in the backfield. Baltimore has to get something going on offense, because if they don't, and defense continues to play like shit the rest of the night, Indy's walking all over them the rest of the game, this game's going to be over here shortly. Jonathan Taylor has 2 catches for 87 yards in the score as well. Of course, 76 of those was on that screen for a touchdown. Paris Campbell, 3 for 33. Michael Pittman, 5 for 68, and that touchdown that just extended the lead, 16-3, of course, with the missed extra point. Granson, 1 for 15. Doolin, 2 for 13. Mo Alley Cox has a catch for 8 yards. Marlon Mack, a catch for 7 yards. And then Zach Pascal has a catch for 31 yards. And then Mark Andrews has 4 catches, 52 yards receiving for Baltimore. Sammy Watkins, 2 for 35. And Devin Duvernay, 2 for 20. No catches for Hollywood Brown. Baltimore needs to find a running game. Keep it simple. Chip away at it. There's still a lot of football left to be played. Get back into it. Play good defense. Get a stop or 2. They'll be all right. I feel like the Ravens will come back and cut it close, but even at this point in time, the Colts are looking on offense. Might be a little too late, but we'll see. During the return, got a hold 10 yards from the end of the run. First down, Baltimore. So thanks for tuning in and listening as we are underway now here in the second half, early third quarter on Monday Night Football with Monday Night Raw, live side-by-side, live watch-along reactions live right here on YouTube. As always, I'm your host, Encyclopedia Sports, Cool Hand Luke 96. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. That thumbs up button Share hashtag NFL, hashtag WWE Raw. Screen complete to Latavius Murray for 5. Second down and 5 for Baltimore. But yes, be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. The thumbs up button. Share, chat questions and comments, super chats, super stickers. Always greatly appreciated. Currently, Charlotte Flair walking to the ring. 16-3 is your score. Colts leading the Baltimore Ravens here early third quarter. But the big breaking news right now, we'll see what social media is saying, is John Gruden is out as the Silver and Black Raiders head coach. So this women's tag team match will begin. It'll be Bianca and Sasha taking on Charlotte and Becky. Got about an hour wrestling left. Half of football left here as well. 16-3 Colts, 3rd and 4 from the 15 for the Ravens. Slant over the middle, complete. Goes to number 11, James Prochet the second, here with 12:22 to play. Big time Becky with a new Titantron entrance. Okay, Raiders assistant named interim head coach. It'll be assistant head coach Jackson going to go down on the sack.
This defensive line as a unit overall is just rushing with tremendous discipline. You see Tyquan Lewis here. You see Latavius Murray sneaking out to his left. And you see him stop his rush just briefly. And then just retrace his steps. Beat Bozeman back inside. Coverage was great down the field. That's a coverage sack, but at the same time, next line ball goes. Front and coverage together. Use high five your buddies and go, yeah. Let's give him now a second.
So the Raiders make the playoffs this year? Hell, the Chiefs might not even make the playoffs, for God's sakes, in the AFC West, the way the Chargers are playing. 2nd and 15. Jackson complete to Hollywood Brown. He's going to dance around, get about 13 of that. Be 3rd and short. But yeah, John Gruden out. Assistant head coach Rich, probably going to butcher his name. I think I said it right earlier, but Acacia will take over the head coaching duties after Gruden's resignation. So he is resigning. Lamar Jackson on 3rd and 3, going to pick up the first down on a run out past the 40, still going. Out past the 45 and brought down right about there. Shit, this New York Times report just came out about an hour ago. Well, 2 hours ago now, because it's been about an hour since he resigned, since news broke there. Yeah, it says on Monday night, less than an hour after the New York Times report that Gruden had sent emails that contained disturbing comments, Gruden resigned on Monday evening. This is from John Gruden in a statement, and I quote, "I have resigned as head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. I love the Raiders and do not want to be a distraction. Thank you to all the players, coaches, staff, and fans of Raider Nation. I'm sorry. I never meant to hurt anyone." I feel like he is sincerely sorry. Like, he's a football coach, for one, okay? So, he says this, he says that. Well, it's because he's pissed off because he's trying to help his team win, okay? Now, this shit, of course, was in emails 10 years ago, but still. Like I said, I feel like he probably feels like he's not going to be able to win this, and it's not going to just pass over. It'll be above him, hovering over his head, hovering over the rest of the team. Of course, as he stated, does not want to be a distraction. Never meant to hurt anyone. I mean, honestly, he'll probably go down still as one of the best NFL coaches of all time, at least this generation, at least. I mean, he won a fucking Super Bowl, for God's sakes. That speak for something. Wish he probably would have won one with the Raiders, and then he beat them the next year after Al Davis traded his ass to Tampa. And then Al Davis' son and, of course, the current owner, Mark Davis, not necessarily had to fire him, but they mutually agreed to part ways. He resigns. But this is probably what he's going to be remembered for when it's all said and done, which is a shame. I have resigned as head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. I love the Raiders. I do not want to be a distraction. Thank you to all the players, coaches, staff, and fans of Raiders Nation. I'm sorry, I never meant to hurt anyone. So they show the statement on the screen that I literally just read on my phone. Once again, I swear to God, I'm bugged. And yeah, Rich Bisaccia is expected to replace John Gruden as the team's interim head coach for the rest of the season. So he'll get, 13 games in for this regular season? Of course, more if they make the playoffs. But it's going to be next. Who do the Raiders hire as their next head coach entering 2022? Okay, here we go. We got some more clarification on what he said said about a few other NFL personnel with the commissioner, some owners, and coaches. He referred to NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell as a faggot and a clueless anti-football pussy. Gruden said in an email that Goodell shouldn't have pressured then LA Rams coach Jeff Fisher, of course former Titans head coach as well, to draft queers, a reference to Michael Sam, who was gay at the time in 2014 coming out of Mizzou in the NFL draft. New York Times report also said Gruden in emails criticized the hiring of women as referees and also the acceptance of players protesting for racial justice during the national anthem. Once again, for the last part, well, come on. The Times said Gruden also exchanged photos of topless women with Allen, who Bruce Allen was the then Washington Redskin team president. And back to the cheerleading situation with their football team. And that was the thing last night, too, that like the NFL not pressuring the Raiders to do something about it or just hear what was going to happen. Because really, they couldn't do anything about it because, yeah, as it says here in 2011, Gruden wasn't an employee of the NFL. He was working for Monday Night Football. If he didn't get back into coaching, he'd be on the call tonight for ESPN for Monday Night Football with these Colts and Ravens. 16-3 still, Indy here midway through the third quarter. The end for John Gruden fast and in an unexpected way. That's for damn sure. Raiders will be on the road in Mile High next week, taking on the Broncos. They'll have a bye week in a few weeks, as mentioned earlier. We'll get to... we got a false start on that play. Jesus Christ. Everybody moved. 5 yards. Replay the down. Got some more breaking news. Fuck Ben Simmons, even though he does arrive in Philadelphia. I guess he's going to end his holdout and report. As the hockey season begins tomorrow, basketball season begins next week. We've got football season, of course, college and the NFL, about a month or so in. Baseball playoffs in the thick of it. Jackson over the middle on Monday Night Football. Complete the Devin Duvernay, who's tackled at the 1 on 3rd down. Be first and goal from the 1. As Baltimore is going to try to cut this lead. So yeah, that's as Jackson fumbles at the 1. It's going to be picked up by Darius Leonard. He's going to lateral it. 100-yard fumble return for a touchdown. Touchdown Colts. They extend their lead 22-3, pending the extra point. They do the Ray Lewis dance as a celebration. Was Jackson down for 1 before he fumbled, and then was Darius Leonard down before he lateraled it? Yeah, Jackson kept it. That's why you don't hold on to the football like a loaf of bread. All his knees, that's close. His knees down at the 3, but is the ball coming out? That ball's, I don't know. That's close. That ball's moving before his knee's down. And he was carrying it like a loaf of bread to begin with. And no wonder it came out. And you have to find undisputed evidence, of course, to overturn it. So unless they don't think his knee's down, this play is going to stand, and it's going to be about and was Darius Leonard down in the return before he pitched it? I don't think so. And then they return it, not 100, but it was about 95 yards for a defensive touchdown for a fumble, scoop, and score. What a game. What a night here this Monday night for football, wrestling, all the news is being broke. So they'll take a look at it. Previous plays under further review. As they're going to look to make sure his knee wasn't down before he fumbled it. That ball's just being held in his right hand for 1. Sort of already coming out. And then his knee goes down, but the ball is loose, and then the Colts recover, and they run it back for 6. So some big plays. 2 70-plus yard passing touchdowns from Carson Wentz. Colts will have a field goal, as do the Ravens, but that's their only points. And then we have this fumble return for a touchdown. Yeah. We'll see what they say when we return. Of course, as mentioned once again, have to find undisputed evidence to overturn it. See what social media is saying about John Gruden. Up on the Twitter world.
Pick your favorites from My Lottery Dream Home with on-demand from Dash.
And where do we want this house?
Why?
Oh, my.
Watch HGTV's My Lottery Dream Home on demand with Dash.
As John Gruden is trending number 1 worldwide. John Gruden has resigned as Raiders head coach after New York Times report said NFL officials found that he used homophobic language over several years, mocking some of the league's changes. And he apologized a few times this weekend. And I feel like he is sincerely sorry. As he had said, he didn't even remember saying it. But now you have all these other emails, and it's like, well, what can you believe? At least there wasn't a video. Shout out Urban Meyer. At least there wasn't a video. Riley Cooper at a concert, the Link, saying the N-word. And we got some coaches in hot water right now, to say the least. So we're back. They're still looking at it. I think that's a fumble. I think that's going to stand as a touchdown. The media is the problem. It is. After review, stands as called. And then there's an illegal forward pass. There's going to be a penalty on the Colts on the return. So not going to be a touchdown, though. Five yards from the spot of the foul, first down, Colts. So it is a fumble. And they're going to put 10 seconds back on the clock. I don't know how that was that's not an illegal forward pass. That's behind Darius Leonard. How's that ball going forward? That's backwards. What the hell are they looking at? And then, he didn't. Okay, Leonard wasn't down on the return before he pitched it. So I assume they were looking at that too. That's not a forward lateral. That's backwards. If I'm Frank Reich, I'm challenging that. But they already looked at it. That is not forward. That's backwards. This should be a Colt touchdown. I don't know what the hell they saw. That was a backwards lateral. Behind. Not forward, not in front. First and 10 from the 29, and then a bubble screen complete to Michael Pittman, who gets to the 39. So a 20-yard completion, first down Colts. They don't care. They're just going to move the ball and probably end up scoring a touchdown here anyway. Shit, all the John Gruden emails were found during the NFL's investigation into the workplace misconduct and the toxic culture of the Washington Redskins, the Washington football team. So, okay, that adds in, that makes sense a little bit with the cheerleading shit, with those pitchers. And then, of course, one of their strength conditioning coaches right now under investigation with the DEA. John Gruden resigns as head coach. Not before the season, not after the season. 5 games into this 2021 season. First and 10, pitch to Jonathan Taylor. Colts are making this look easy tonight. Jesus Christ, what the hell is wrong with this Raven defense? That's 3 straight first downs. Under 5 to play in this third quarter. That's 3 straight first downs. They're moving the ball like nothing. 1st and 10.
Who runs 4-3 in the fourth. So once he gets the edge like that, he can absolutely rip you between the tackles with his power on his side. But when he gets the edge and gets into the open space,
Yeah, ESPN trying to be smart about it, trying to stay safe and keep their nose out of it, because when all this shit went down, he was working for them as a broadcaster for Monday Night Football in my day.
it's been a dramatic night. That's the way it started here at Baltimore. Fans of the Wire will appreciate this. They have a new tradition. They heard Omar's whistle prior to the home opener. The fans love it so much they keep bringing it back. That took the Baltimore Ravens out of the right. But the great
2nd and 10.
from the Wire.
From the 28 out of the gun, empty set for Wentz. Wide open is Mo Alley Cox. Inside the 10, 1st and goal for the Colts. I'm sure Pat McAfee's having a hell of a night, rooting on his Indianapolis Colts.
Making sure he cushions for his safety, hold off the center or that corner after Morley Cox to buy the safety some time to get out there, and he didn't do it. But when you throw that ball, either corner or safety can play that ball.
1st and goal, pitch to Jonathan Taylor. He walks into the end zone, touchdown Indianapolis. This game's over. This game is over.
One receiving, one rushing. And it's
I don't think anybody saw this coming.
This is one of the most prolific college runners at the University of Wisconsin in NCAA history. Just watch his vision here. Watch how he cuts back. Looks like he's going to hit.
Did they snap it from the left guard position? Was Wentz up underneath the left guard under center?
Playing behind a makeshift offensive line.
And then they run the... They're going to go for 2 here. Okay, 22-3, make it 24-3. They're going to go for 2 to make it a few possession game here. 3:06 to play in the third, just in case, of course, Baltimore scores 3 touchdowns and ties it up, or in case they... Well, the 2-point is going to be picked off. Baltimore returns this, so it'll be good for 2. They don't. Roll it dead. Tries no good now. Be 22-5, but 22-3. So, yeah, Baltimore is going to need 3 touchdowns to take the lead at 24-22 to win this game. So, still a fumble. No touchdown on the return, but the Colts drive like it's nothing. Score a touchdown and extend their lead. See what else social media is saying. Yeah, as ESPN, like I said, yeah, they surely didn't know at halftime that, you know, John Gruden worked for him at the time when all this shit went down. And this is college football and pro football talk. Just want to make sure everyone is clear as to the skin ESPN has and how they shape this story. Yeah. It's all how the media puts it. It's how people portray it. It's how everything's portrayed. Plain and simple. Long story short. But people are stupid enough to fucking believe everything they hear and read anymore. That's the other problem. I wonder what Clayton Bigsby has to say about all this. Colin Kaepernick wasn't right. Shut the fuck up, dude. Shut up.
Football's bad. Let's act like it. You know what, Justin? You're right. What am I doing here? I should be out there. Getting everyone ready for some football. Are you ready to hang out?
So really, in the end, before we recap Week 5 here, preview Week 6, update some stats from this Monday night game as well.
Yeah, baby. Are you ready for all the comebacks, all the drama? No.
What Democrat was behind
You're free to go.
digging up this dirt on John Gruden, leading to his resignation? So I'll digress from the John Gruden saga right now. Some updated stats, 22-3 now, Colts lead the Ravens. Carson Wentz is 18-25 for 307 passing yards and 2 touchdowns. Jonathan Taylor has 8 carries for 46 yards and a touchdown, as he also has 2 catches, out of the backfield, with those 8 carries for 46 yards and a score. 2 catches for 87 yards and a touchdown as well. And then the other touchdown would have been from Wentz to Michael Pittman, who has 6 catches for 89 yards as well. So once again, Carson Wentz, 18-25, 307 in the air for 2 touchdowns. Jonathan Taylor, 8 carries, 46 rushing yards and a touchdown. Nyheim Hines, 4 for 18. Marlon Mack, 3 for 17. And then Michael Pittman has 6 catches, 89 yards and a touchdown. Jonathan Taylor, 2 for 89 and a touchdown. Paris Campbell, 3 for 33. Mo Alley Cox, 2 catches, 32 yards. And then Zach Pascal, along with Granson, Doolin, and Marlon Mack all have a catch apiece for anywhere between 7 and 31 yards total. And then Baltimore, as the Ravens have the ball back, here's 2nd and 7. Pass complete to Mark Andrews down the middle. First down Ravens. Jackson's right now 17-21, 198 passing yards. Also has 8 carries, 40 yards on the ground. And then Baltimore receiving Mark Andrews, 6 catches, 79 yards. Devin Duvernay, 4 for 45. Watkins, 2 for 35. And Marquise Hollywood-Brown, 3 for 22. Jackson on the run near side to midfield for about 2, maybe 3 if he's lucky. 2 minutes to play in this third quarter. It'll be 2nd down about 7 for the flock of Ravens at home here on Monday Night Football.
That rookie corner, Lamar Jackson, Greg Roman should think about targeting him. Jackson flips it forward, touchdown Williams. 2nd and 7. He picked up 8. First down. So Xavier Rhodes was on the sideline, and Isaiah Rodgers, both of them are on the sideline. So we've got backups. TJ Carey's already been hurt. So right now, the Colts have a practice squad promotion this week in Anthony Chesley, and then Bo Pete Keys on the other side. Rock Yassin is already out of the lineup tonight.
1st and 10, Baltimore from the 44. As Piper Nevin Dewdrop defeats Natalia, will advance to take on Shayna Baszler in the semis of the Queen's Crown tournament. And then the winner of that next week on Raw will face the winner from this upcoming Friday night on SmackDown between Zelina Vega and Carmella. The winner will win the first ever Queen's Crown tournament. Now backstage to John Morrison on Monday Night Raw as Rhea Ripley and Nikki ASH walk up. As it seems like he's backstage meditating, sitting on one of those cargo boxes, wearing some blue jeans and a jean jacket, as I don't know if they're giving him a character change with Miz on Dancing with Stars right now or what's going on, but Ravens with a long passing touchdown, Jackson to Hollywood Brown, and then a 2-point attempt. Ball in the end zone, but they're going to say he was down, knee down. Conversion's no good. It is 22-9. 56 seconds to play in the third quarter. They'll take a look at it here. Rolling on the field as he's short of the line. Yeah, his elbows, forearms down at the 1 yard line before the ball's in the end zone, so he's down. Yep, he's down right there. Ball's not in. Right forearms down at the 1, ball's at the half-yard line. The conversion's no good. They do score a touchdown, though, 22-9. Yeah. So the Ravens cut it, 22-9 here, 56 seconds to play in the third. Passing touchdown from Lamar Jackson to Hollywood Brown from 43 yards out. And now as Jackson is 19-23 for 248 and a touchdown, Hollywood Brown has 4 catches, 65 yards receiving and a touchdown. 22-9. Both teams with a fumble apiece. Both teams have been able to capitalize on a 2-point attempt. Field goal piece by both, and then it's 3 touchdowns for the Colts as the difference. 2 long, 70-plus yard passing touchdowns from Carson Wentz to Jonathan Taylor and Michael Pittman, and then Taylor also has a rushing touchdown. So 22-9 is your score here at the end of the third quarter. As we near the end of the third quarter. Almost about to be the fourth, early fourth. So yeah, we're on track to be done, of course, right on time tonight with Monday Night Football. Monday Night Raw about another half hour or so ago. About a half hour, 45 minutes, Monday Night Football, and we'll be done. Back to it, 1st and 10 from the 20. Colts football up 22-9. Pass goal motion near side, left to right for Indy. Gonna fake the give to Marlon Mack, roll out, pump fake. It was gonna go to Jack Doyle, 84, and then Wentz tucks it and runs for 5 yards. They'll have to snap it at least once more before the quarter, but Indy, they should be able to hold on and win this, I think. Hell yeah, this time last night, 10 to about quarter after 11, that was our weather delay for Sunday Night Football. As I actually just showed a highlight of that game, previewing next week on Monday Night Football with the Buffalo Bills at the Tennessee Titans. As last year in that game, they played on a Tuesday because of COVID. And last night on Sunday Football with the Chiefs and the Bills, as the first meeting last year was in Buffalo, supposed to be on a Thursday night, but moved to a Monday night because of the Titans' COVID situation the week prior. Like, technically tomorrow night, Tuesday night, would have been October 13th a year ago. October 12th, though, tomorrow. That would have been a year since Bills-Titans Tuesday night on CBS. They play next week on Monday Night Football. I have live watch-along reactions live right here on YouTube, so be sure to tune in. But yeah, the Chief-Bill game that was to follow 2 days later, that Thursday night, was moved to Monday night at 5 o'clock on Fox next Monday night a year ago from upstate Western New York and Orchard Park at the Ralph. And now last night, they met again in the AFC Championship rematch as well, with the Bills defeating the Chiefs last night on Sunday Night Football 38-20. And now here tonight on Monday Night Football, we have the Indianapolis Colts at the end of the third quarter now officially, leading Baltimore on the road. Colts 22-9 over the Ravens at the end of 3. So thank you for tuning in and listening. As always, I'm your host, Encyclopedia Sports, Cool Hand Luke 96. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below, the thumbs up button. Share, hashtag NFL, hashtag WWE Raw for Monday Night Raw. Live watch-along reactions as well. Main event to begin here momentarily with Big E, Drew McIntyre, and the Usos in a tag team match as they continue their build following the WWE Draft to Crown Jewel a week from Thursday. As that night, we'll have Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship. We'll have Big E, Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship. A no-holds-barred match as well with Bobby Lashley and Goldberg. And a Hell in a Cell match with Edge and Seth frickin' Rollins. But tonight, 22-9 at the end of the third quarter. Colts leading the Ravens on Monday Night Football. So once again, thanks for tuning in and listening. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. Chat questions, comments, super chats, super stickers. Always greatly appreciated as well. But the big breaking news this evening is John Gruden is no longer the head coach of the Silver and Black Raiders, effective immediately following his current email scandal, if you will, with racist, sexist, and anti-gay remarks. Back here in the fourth quarter on Monday Night Football, back on Raw as well, backstage with Mansoor and Mustafa Ali. Seems like they'll split, potentially have a match at Crown Jewel with Mansoor picking up the win. 1st and 10, handoff. Marlon Mack out past midfield for a big first down run for the blue and white. Giddy up. All starts up front. You got to be able to block to run. Colts have done that very effectively tonight. Blocked to open up the play action pass. Wentz has over 300 yards passing and 2 touchdowns tonight. Very effective there as well. Had a defense touchdown. Got called back though, but they still scored on that drive. This Raven defense just atrocious. 1st and 10 from the 46. Wentz going to hand off again. Nowhere for Jonathan Taylor to go. Lose a yard in the process. 2nd and 11. And yeah, here we go. Mustafa Ali turning on Mansoor, throwing him into the wall. Now beating them all to hell. They'll definitely have a match at Crown Jewel. Mansoor's definitely going to win that. That'll be the loudest crowd reaction at that event over in Saudi Arabia. 2nd and 11. Wentz will play action deep down the middle, complete to Mo Alley Cox at the 30-yard line. 1st and 10, Indianapolis. Main event time on Raw with Drew McIntyre teaming with his opponent at Crown Jewel, challenging for the WWE Championship, and Big E. It'll be Big E and the Scottish Psychopath turned Warrior and Drew McIntyre in a tag team bout as they team up to take on Jimmy and Jay, the Usos, the SmackDown Tag Team Champions. 2/3 of the Bloodline. Keep an eye out for the big dog, Tribal Chief, who sits at the head of the table, who we should all acknowledge, and our current Universal Champion, Roman Reigns, to come out at the end of the show and cause a disqualification of some sorts to close Monday Night Raw this evening. Keep an eye out for Roman Reigns. Believe me. Watch for Reigns to come out in about 15, 20 minutes or so. 2nd and 10. That pass was incomplete from Wentz, as it was a handoff to Jonathan Taylor. Nowhere for him to go, and then they ran a reverse. Paris Campbell had it. He pitched it back to Wentz, and then Wentz was going to go deep, but nobody opened, so threw out of bounds, incomplete. 2nd down and 10. Wentz near side, complete to Jack Doyle, his first catch of the night. Thank you, Steve Levy. I literally just said that. 3rd down and 6 officially. Carson Wentz showing out, and big thing I questioned earlier, can he go on the road in primetime and pick up a big road win with his new team? It looks like that's going to be the case. And like I said, it's the Colts and it's the Titans in the South, because the Texans and Jaguars flat out suck. The Jaguars are getting a little bit better, as are the Lions. They're both 0-5. Detroit should have at least 2 wins. They should be 2-3 like Indy will be after tonight if they hold on, because, hell, that Raven game that they lost, Baltimore should have a loss there because 66-yard kick, other than Justin Tucker making it, nobody's going to doink it in off the crossbar and have it go forward in for a successful kick, not backwards for a no-good game winner. This from 43, though, from Rex Beck's Rodrigo Blankenship, who's already good from one earlier, up and good, 25-9 now. 12 minutes on the dot to play here tonight on Monday Night Football. And then yesterday, the Lions also should have beat the Vikings. I mean, hell, they scored 1 for 2 in the win and had it, and then they gave up 3 big plays. Vikings got in field goal range and lost on another game-winning field goal. And then, Dan Campbell, very emotional in his post-game press conference yesterday, as they're so close. They are. I mean, the Lions are the Lions, yeah, no doubt about it. But as I said, the Jaguars, I thought yesterday, I thought when they almost went and beat the Bengals on Thursday night, lost on game-winning field goal that Thursday night game as well before Urban Meyer had his fun weekend last weekend. The Jaguars are getting better. The Lions are getting better. I guess this is the perfect time to recap the week here in the NFL. Week 5 officially. Take a look at the standings for the hell of it. A month into the season. Along with, of course, try to figure out who is going to be the next Raider head coach as well, following John Gruden's resignation. But right now, okay, NFL Week 5, as the bye weeks begin next week, Week 6. Next week, as mentioned earlier, Atlanta, New Orleans, the New York Jets, and the San Francisco 49ers will all be on bye weeks next week. This week, in the NFL, Week 5 began last week with the NFC West. Been talking a lot about the AFC West side, of course, with John Gruden. But Week 5 now began in the NFC West last Thursday night up in Seattle in the Emerald City, Pacific Northwest, with the Rams defeating the Seahawks 26-17. Yesterday in London across the pond, Falcons 27-20 over the Jets. They'll both be on bye weeks next week, as will the Saints and 49ers, as mentioned once again. In overtime yesterday, the Packers won on a Mason Crosby game-winning field goal against Cincinnati, 25-22. Vikings also won on a game-winning kick, as mentioned, over the Lions, now 19-17. Steelers picked up the first win since Week 1, 27-19 at home against the Broncos. Buccaneers 45-17 winners against the Miami Dolphins. Saints 33-22 over the Washington football team, formerly known as Redskins, or whatever the hell their new nickname will be next year. Eagles 21-18 winners at Carolina over the Panthers. The Titans defeated the Jaguars on the road from Duval, 37-19. Patriots defeated the Texans by the same final score as did the Packers defeat the Bengals by an overtime, 25-22. Bears defeated the Raiders, and now John Gruden's final game as a silver and black coach, 20-9. The Chargers and Browns, as in the meantime, the Red Sox have defeated the Tampa Bay Rays and advanced to the ALCS, and will face now the winner of Houston and Chicago with the White Sox. As they were actually supposed to play earlier today, that game was postponed to tomorrow, though. Earlier today, in the NL, the Braves went up 2-1 on the Brewers. The Giants and Dodgers are currently on right now, tied at 0, top of the 4th inning. So the Red Sox are the first to advance to the championship series, the CS, AL, NL. They'll either face the Astros or White Sox. The winner then to the World Series. And then in the NL, you have, of course, the Brewers, the Braves, the Giants, and the Dodgers. Whoever wins those 2 series, of course, will meet the CS, and whoever wins that will face whoever comes out of the AL in the World Series as well at the end of the month. But so there's some breaking news as well. The Red Sox advanced to the ALCS after they defeated the Yankees at home in the wildcard game last Tuesday. A 4-game series win against the Rays, defeating the AL East champion in the process. They get the better of them in the playoffs, and they advance. So there's some more breaking news. Red Sox advance. Where was I? Oh, the Browns and Chargers were in a shootout. Yes, from Southern California. It was 28 apiece in the 4th quarter. Early 4th quarter, 28-27 Chargers. And then it was back and forth until the Chargers, at the end of the game, won 47-42. They actually went for 2, missed it, so if Cleveland would have scored and, of course, kicked the extra point, they would have won. Hell, if they even would have missed the extra point in no time remaining, they would have won by a point, 48-47. But Hail Mary was no good from Baker Mayfield. We'll be at home with him in a few weeks on Halloween with the Pittsburgh Steelers coming to town. We'll see if he's going to be handing out any nachos and cheese to any trick-or-treaters at that game or not. But no, yesterday the Chargers 47-42 over the Cleveland Browns. Also, the Cowboys defeated the Giants 44-20. Cardinals 17-10 winners over the 49ers. And then last night on Sunday Night Football, 38-20 Bills defeating the Chiefs. And now tonight on Monday Night Football, currently 25-9 Indianapolis Colts with 10 minutes to play. But the Ravens just scored again as they're coming back. Both teams still 3 timeouts, 2-minute warning. Penalties have been declined on the whole. Touchdown Baltimore. So officially, with 9:38 to play, Baltimore's coming back. They cut it to 10. They'll probably go for 2 to make it an 8-point game, so they need a touchdown and a 2-point to tie it at 25 apiece if they can play good defense the rest of the way. This game is not over by any means just yet. So Ravens on another 2-point attempt in the flat, complete to Mark Andrews, who just caught the touchdown. He catches that pass as well to make it a successful try as the Ravens cut it to 8 with 9:38 to play. 25-17 your score. Colts going to get the football back. As now, yeah, okay. Tale of 2 halves. Tale of, I don't know, first 3 quarters and the last, with the 4th coming down to the wire, but not over just yet. So 25-17 your Monday Night Football score, with the Colts still leading the Baltimore Ravens, but Baltimore right now coming back. Quarterback Dole, Carson Wentz 20-29, 329, 2 touchdowns. Lamar Jackson now here in the second half, adding to his stats, of course, with 2 passing touchdowns. Still leads the team in rushing, 9 carries, 43 yards. Jackson in the air is 25-29, 326, and 2 passing touchdowns. 1 to Hollywood Brown, 1 to Mark Andrews as they cut it to 8. Good 2-point attempt there as well. So that's where we stand at on Monday Night Football. Just, of course, recapped Week 5 here in the National Football League. Week 6 begins on Thursday night with the Buccaneers and Eagles from the city of brotherly love. Next Sunday morning across the pond, once again for a NFL London game, the Dolphins and Jaguars will meet Packers Bears in the NFL's oldest rivalry. Bengals Lions, oh my. Texans Colts, Rams Giants, Chiefs and the Redskins. Watch football team, if you will. Past 2 years or so now. Not even. Year and a half. It was last July they decided to change their name before the season started last year. Ron Rivera, though, as Andy Reid and the Chiefs are coming in at 2-3, the Skins are also 2-3. Don't know what games I'll have on in my area at 1 o'clock on CBS or Fox, with the Steelers, of course, playing Sunday Night Football, and then the Eagles also playing on Thursday Night Football at home. So 2 national broadcasts. I know I'll have live watch-along reactions next Sunday morning with the London game, Dolphins-Jaguars, so be sure to tune in. And then also next Sunday night with the Seahawks and Steelers as well. Don't plan on doing any 1 or 4 o'clock games next week. In the meantime, here on the Guide, gonna see if I can scroll over and see if it's updated yet. Probably not. And see what games I'm gonna receive next Sunday at 1 and 4 respectively. As I know, CBS 9:30 a.m. for the Dolphins-Jaguar game, I'll have that. That's gonna be for everybody, as that's a national game as well. But if I'd have to guess, what I'm getting at, it'll be Chiefs and Skins, along with the Chargers, Ravens potentially on CBS. And then on Fox, as CBS will have a triple header, because Cowboys-Patriots is going to be the game of the week. Fox at 1 o'clock, it'll probably be Rams-Giants if I'd have to guess. But I doubt this guide's updated yet. But we are almost Sunday, so let's see if we can get there. Okay, Dolphins-Jaguars at 9:30 next Sunday. And then it'll be Chargers-Ravens at 1 o'clock. So no. And then no Fox game until 4 o'clock with the Cardinals at the Browns with Kyler Murray and Baker Mayfield. Of course, 2 former Oklahoma quarterbacks. Cowboys-Patriots on CBS game of the week, and then Sunday Night Football on NBC, Seahawks-Steelers. So my live watch-along reactions next week, just in the NFL, because Penn State and college football is off. They have a bye week this upcoming week. It'll be next Sunday morning, Dolphins-Jaguars, and the next Sunday night, Seahawks-Steelers. And the next Monday as well with the Bills and Titans with Monday Night Football, Monday Night Raw. So be sure to like, follow, and subscribe. Links in the description below. Hopefully you'll tune back in for more live watch-along interactions live right here on YouTube. That pass was complete from Carson Wentz to Jonathan Taylor as they're once again in Raven territory. 1st and 10 at the 42. That's a horse collar tackle right there on the sack. Flag comes in from behind. That's a horse collar. That's 15 yards. That's an automatic first down. And Justin Houston, the former Chief and Colt, I know he's played somewhere else. I'm drawing a blank on who else he's played for. Maybe it's just the Chiefs and the Colts, and now he's with the Ravens. Yeah, that is right. I don't know why I was thinking he played for somebody else. But he takes Wentz down on the sack. Of course, never played with him in Indy because Wentz just arrived this past March. But he takes him down on the sack with a horse collar. And a 15-yard penalty, automatic first down. Also next week in the NFL, as mentioned, Thursday night, we'll kick off Week 6 as always. Buccaneers, Eagles next Sunday morning. From London, Dolphins, Jaguars, Packers, Bears. Bengals, Lions, Texans, Colts, Rams, Giants, Chiefs, Skins, Vikings, Panthers, Chargers, Ravens, Cardinals, Browns, Raiders, Broncos, Cowboys, Patriots, Seahawks, Steelers is Sunday Night Football. And the next week on Monday Night Football is Bills, Titans. Second and 3, 7:07 to play here for the Indianapolis Colts. Another run. Yeah, that's all Indy's going to do here is, hell, they're already in field goal range. You're on the football and drain the clock. You're up 8, you kick it, you're going to be up 11. That's 2 possessions. And Baltimore, even with 3 timeouts and 2-minute warning, time not really going to be on their side. Third and 1 for the Colts. Timeout by Indy. Good timeout. Just make sure you're set.
He had a situation there. He didn't like the call that came in versus the defense he saw.
How unimportant was that rushing record we talked about all week long for the Ravens, right? Kind of like that was a nice, cute record when we were winning. But now when you're trying to win the football game, that's so in the rearview mirror. That's so secondary now.
Yeah, trying to come from behind for sure. You know you're going to have to throw it. You know that
So
you're
6:11 to play. 25-17 Indianapolis on the road leading the Baltimore Ravens. In this battle of a former Colt team, who are still the Colts, of course. Of course, they used to call their home Baltimore. Now they're in Indianapolis. Ravens, Baltimore's team now. 3rd and 1 after the timeout. Under center's Wentz. He's going to hand off Jonathan Taylor, and he's going to dive and get a first down.
Serves for the first down. I kind of like that he continues to work. You know, he's not getting out. He's on top of everybody, and he might get an extra half yard.
Still trying to figure out who the hell the Raiders are going to hire to replace John Gruden now. Like I said, I feel like Eric Bieniemy should be top of that list. I mean, maybe a few other offense coordinators around the league, especially what the Bills are doing right now with Josh Allen at quarterback. You know, Brian Dable, who's up in Buffalo as their offense coordinator, of course, worked under Saban at Alabama. Joe Brady in Carolina with the Panthers under Matt Rule with what they're doing with Sam Darnold right now, but really what he did with Joe Burrow at LSU when they won the national championship a few years ago. I'm sure, you know, top college coaches are going to be getting some looks as well. You know, whether it be Dabo Sweeney, Lincoln Riley, Ryan Day, to name a few. Trying to think of a few others. But then even, I wouldn't necessarily say any current NFL head coaches are going to be looking to, you know, move. And now if they get fired at the end of the year, that's one thing and they move on that way, okay. But just to leave their current job to go take the Raiders job, no, I don't see that happening with anybody. CM Punk must be in Baltimore for Monday Night Football as they blast Call to Personality on the loudspeakers. But, and in the meantime, too, Monday Night Raw coming down the wire. So we got a lot going on here. 2nd and 11 from the 18, 6 minutes to play. And Jonathan Taylor on the give for 5 yards. Be third down and medium, 5-5-5 to play. I mean, yeah, the few college coaches that could get looks for the Raiders. Yeah, I said Dabo. I mean, really, it's just going to be Dabo, Sweeney, I'd say, along with Lincoln Riley and Ryan Day. I mean, Ryan Day, with what he has done at Ohio State the past month since they lost to Oregon, Buckeyes look like a totally different team. Lincoln Riley and OU should have a few losses, yeah, no doubt about it. Finding ways to win, though. His name's always coming up for NFL gigs, but he's stayed put. Pat Fitzgerald from Northwestern is another one I know he just re-signed. Stayed at his alma mater. He's gotten some looks from NFL teams the past few years. Matt Roll jumped from Baylor, and he's having some success right now with the Panthers. So who's going to be that? Not necessarily next to Jimmy Johnson or what Matt Roll and Urban Meyer are currently doing from the college level to the NFL ranks, but another field goal by the Colts. It's going to be blocked, and the Ravens recover. It'll be Ravens football anyway, 1st and 10 after the block. 4:29 to play. They need a touchdown and a 2-point to tie it at 25. They have one timeout left, plus a 2-minute warning. This game coming down the wire. We got a good one. Tonight has been absolutely crazy. This weekend in football. High school, college, the NFL. All the upsets on Saturday in college football. All the close games we had yesterday. Weather delay. Tonight's Monday night game. Of course, the big breaking news of John Gruden out as a Raiders coach. This game coming down the wire now, too. Jackson just, well, I don't know what kind of pass that was, but he's lucky he didn't get picked off. Incomplete, 2nd and 10. Drew McIntyre lays out Big E. Gets cut up in the process. He got a big bruise right above his right eye, and he's bleeding. So no Roman Reigns, though. But, hey, I see you. Crown Jewel a week from Thursday. I'm coming for the WWE Championship. Big E's going to retain because he's going to be on Raw. McIntyre's going to SmackDown. Pass complete to Hollywood Brown. Monday Night Raw fades to black. And that's the red brand of the WWE this evening. Pretty decent show. I mean, I sort of, for the most part, was watching it there the first hour, a little over an hour or so. And then, of course, got sidetracked. Of course, watching Monday Night Football here still. But then the John Gruden news breaks. Continue to watch wrestling best I can. But then watching this football game come down to the wire, too. So, yeah, Raw was pretty decent. Probably the best Raw of the past 2 or 3 weeks. Like the first 2 or 3 weeks of them head-to-head with Monday Night Football, it was pretty good, and then it sort of dipped. Getting back on track, I guess you could say. Rome wasn't built in a day, though. One thing at a time. They don't care what we think anyway. They're going to do what they want. So, yeah, we'll see how the rest of the build is to Crown Jewel, and then hopefully we'll tune in for Crown Jewel live watch-along reactions on the 21st, a week from Thursday, live right here on YouTube. 2nd and 2, Jackson avoids a sack, tucks it and runs, and picks up a first down. Ran about 30 yards to get 10. Not even. 5-yard run. First down, though. That's all that matters. First down and 10 from the 33 for the Baltimore Ravens. How much you want to bet Lane Kiffin's name comes up for the Raiders job? Does he go back to USC? Who knows? For him, I would say the Raider job for Lane Kiffin is going to be a little harder to turn down than the USC gig. I feel like he went back to the NFL. He's a former assistant with the Raiders. Of course, former assistant with SC as well before he took the Tennessee job and then USC, and then under Saban and his coaching clinic, of course, Florida Atlantic, and now at Ole Miss. Lane Kiffin would be a dark horse for the Raiders job right now. But I wouldn't be shocked if that picks up some steam over the next few months. Lane Kiffin to the Raiders. So you heard it here first, folks, from your host, Encyclopedia Sports, Cohan Luke 96. Be sure to give me a follow on social media. 1st and 10, 9-yard gain, and Tyson Williams gets about 8.5, 9 yards on that. 2-minute warning, 2 minutes to play. Inside the 5, it'll be 2nd and short for the Baltimore Ravens. They are down 8, 25-17. Needing a touchdown and a 2-point to tie it. Lamar Jackson, this is your cue to go into the locker room, take the biggest shit of your life, come back out, and potentially lead your team to a win. Hell, we might have another overtime Monday night game on our hands with the Ravens here a month into the season. The other one was week 1 at the Raiders with John Gruden at the helm, but no, he's no longer head coach, fired. Stepped down, resigned a few hours ago. Yeah, I feel like Lane Kiffin would probably, be the only other college coach that would make the jump. That would make sense. That would be a splash. Be a big hire. I mean, you got to look at Tampa, too, with under Bruce Arians, their offense and defense coordinators, with former Jaguar and Steeler quarterback and Byron Leftwich, and Todd Bowles, but does Bowles get another shot? The NFL always gives coaches who have failed at their previous stops another chance, so I wouldn't be shocked if Todd Bowles' name gets thrown out there. Of course, he did not have a whole lot of success with the Jets, so if he can't even win the Jets, well, good luck winning with the fucking Raiders. I mean, a few other coaches maybe, whether they're coordinators or former coaches, that could replace Gruden now in Vegas because he stepped down a few hours ago with the email scandal because of some racist remarks and anti-gay and sexist remarks on top of that to NFL execs, along with Roger Goodell, the commissioner, and owners and players around the league. The Raiders are the Raiders. They're that, crazy uncle that everybody has in their family. That's, on paper, exactly who the hell they are. They have no care in the world, Why don't you call up Jamarcus Russell, see what he's doing? Oh, wait, he was a bust. Yeah, I honestly have no idea. I mean, Kellen Moore, maybe, yeah. What he's doing in Dallas as the OC, Cowboys, yeah. Okay. I don't know why, as they're going to say Jackson's down to 1. You can't hold on to the football like a loaf of bread, dude. You cannot fumble it every single time. They're going to say 1st and goal at the 1. Coming out of the draft, I'm the running back. I'm a quarterback. Well, yeah, he is down at the 2, actually, and the ball's not out yet. And then it's a fumble. Colts recovered, so they got Ravens on that one, got lucky. 1st and goal, they're going to fake the give. Jackson almost another fumble because he decided to keep it for himself, and he's going to lose a few back at the 5. Minute 15 to play, they got a timeout, needing a touchdown on 2-point to tie it. Force overtime. But I guess technically he is a running back because all he does is run the damn football, but he does have 300 passing yards tonight, though, too. 2 touchdowns. But you can't fumble it like that all the damn time and expect to be in it. Josh McDaniels is another name. I don't know why people would want him as their head coach because he failed in Denver. You know, okay, Tom Brady's Tom Brady, but he's better as a coordinator. And some coaches are better as coordinators than head coaches. And some coaches are better as college coaches than NFL coaches and vice versa. Passing touchdown once again, Lamar Jackson and Mark Andrews. They are a 2-point attempt away from tying this game up at 25 with 39 seconds to play on Monday Night Football. Indianapolis defense going to try to hold them out of the end zone. If they can, they'll win, hold on and win. But if not, and Wentz can't drive, at least get him in field goal range for a kick. Blankenship has a couple of those tonight. This is play of the game right here. If they convert, we're tied. If not, game's over. Jackson, pass caught, touchdown by Andrews again. We're tied at 25. So the Colts are about to blow this game on Monday night with 39 seconds to play. Colts going to get it back, though, with 2 timeouts. 2 timeouts. Of course, use a sideline. It's your friend. All Wentz needs to do is get his kicker in field goal range. Kick game winner. But that last kick, even with Blankenship's few successful field goals tonight, remember it was blocked. That set up this touchdown drive. So, I mean, if he can score a touchdown, okay, seal it, but we might be going to overtime. $25 apiece. Justin Tucker on to kick off. Touchback will be 1st and 10, Indianapolis from the 25-yard line as we're tied at 25 with 39 seconds to play on Monday Night Football. Pass going to be caught on 1st and 10 from number 2 to number 1, Paris Campbell. I think if the Colts come back and win this, Lamar Jackson's definitely going to have to go number 2 because they're all going to be shitting themselves at how the hell do they just drive on us with little no time remaining and 2 timeouts, even with the timeouts, to try to drive and score and beat us. Pass is going to be incomplete. Once someone went down the sack, so at least he got rid of it. 2nd and 10 with 24 seconds to play. They get it off as the play clock expires from the 48. 2nd and 10. Wentz going to roll out. Going to go deep in the end zone. Out of bounds. Incomplete. 10 for Paris Campbell again. You got a flag on the play as well. Probably going to be a hold. under 2 minutes, it'll be a 10-second runoff unless they call a timeout. So I'd be calling one of your 2 timeouts to stop the clock with 18 seconds. So you got yourself some time. Wentz can't hear. He says what? Trying to get the play call in from the sideline is Frank Reich. Just getting field goal range. They said he needed 35. Blankenship, I'd like to be close to the 30. Bubble screen, far side, complete the pass. We got to call timeout here, 40 seconds. Or from the 40-yard line, 12 seconds. And what the hell was that? You can't shove a guy down. That's going to be a 15-yard unsportsmanlike on the Raven defense. 15 yards, automatic first down, and now they're going to be a little bit closer to field goal range. That might have just threw the game for the Ravens to have the Colts kick a game winner here. They'll need some more yardage on one of these next few plays to set it up. But still, you can't do anything stupid like that, especially when the game's on line, for God's sakes. Like, come on, dude. Especially right in front of the ref. Stupid. Just stupid. After the play, personal foul and sportsmanlike conduct. 15 yards, automatic first down. Baltimore, yeah. What can you do? John Harbaugh knows it. Got to be smart. Well, yeah, Jack Doyle did shove him in the head. And then the ref didn't see that, but they always see what happens last. And Young got up and shoved him down, and he fell down. A little bit of a LeBron James flop, if you will, but still 15-yard penalty, automatic first down from the 45. They got 2 timeouts in 13 seconds. They need 10 yards to get to field goal range. I'd like a little bit more than that, though, just to make sure, okay, this kick's, for the most part, probably going to go in, and we'll win it as time expires on Monday night. From the 45, first and 10, out of the guns, Wentz, right to left, trips near side. Wentz, caught by Pascal, down to 30. Call a timeout with 6 seconds. Call a timeout 6 seconds. You got 2 of them. You could run another play, get some more yardage, line up right, left hash in the middle, however you want it. Call your third and final timeout. Bring out your kicker. John Harbaugh's probably going to ice you with his third and final timeout as well. And then you kick it, you make it, you win. The game's over, 28-25. Colts win. You miss, we go to overtime, tied at 25. Plain and simple. Just don't fumble. Do not turn it over. Don't do anything stupid. I'd just run it. Kick a field goal. See where the ball is going to be spotted for one, and then run it left, right. Just set it up for your kicker to kick. I mean, you could kick it right now, too, with 6 seconds. I don't know what the yardage would be. I don't even know where the ball's spotted. I'd say 30-yard line. Yeah. So here it'd be about a 47, 48-yard kick. You run another play, which Wentz is going to come back out. Yeah, ball's at 30, so it'd be about a 47, 48-yard field goal. And it's on the left hash. So if you want to kick it from the left hash, you want to move it over to the middle, which they won't take it the whole way to the right hash. They'll take it to the middle, have a direct shot. And they're going to dive forward on the sneak to the center of the field for about a yard or so. Call the third and final time at 4 seconds. And bring out Rodrigo Blankenship for a potential game-winning kick to win on Monday Night Football on the road to defeat the Ravens. Last field goal, though, was blocked. This kick going to be about from 46, 47 yards out for the win for the Colts. It'll be about 46, 47-yard field goal on 2nd down and 8. 4 seconds to play. Ravens have the timeout. I assume they'll call it to ice them. He's already made 2 kicks this evening. The other one was blocked. Did miss an extra point as well, yes. So they have that. This game's already over. 47-yard field goal officially. For the win, for the shoe. No timeout by Harbaugh yet. None at all, and the kick's going to be up and wide left, no good. A complete shank. He misses it, and we're going to overtime on Monday Night Football. We got 10 more minutes of football to be played. Hopefully this game does not end in a tie. Catch you up, some stats. As at the end of regulation, tied at 25 apiece. It was a good snap and a good hold, and I guess Blankenship's got some kicking issues right now. I think a lot of the kickers right now in the NFL have some kicking issues. Hell, there were about a dozen missed kicks yesterday here this week 5. So why not miss one? Miss actually 3 tonight. That was shanked. The missed extra point and then one was blocked. Why not miss them here tonight to close out the weekend as well, to take us to overtime in Monday Night Football? Coin toss, Carson Wentz and Justin Tucker. Whoever receives, if they score, they win. If you win the toss, you want the football, because if you score, you win. Kick a field goal, their team gets a shot, and then the next scorer wins. 2 timeouts, 10-minute overtime period. We end in a tie. We end in a tie. Colts, visitors, they'll call heads or tails. It's heads from Carson Wentz. It's tails. Baltimore's getting the football. They'll have the Colts on to kick off. It'll be 1st and 10. I'd assume from the 25. And now that's a stat right there. I don't know if that's a record, but we've had at least one overtime game every week here the first 5 weeks of the season for this 2021 campaign in the National Football League. So why not end week 5 with an overtime game? It'll be the second Ravens overtime game. They went to overtime week 1 on the road at the Raiders and lost to the Silver and Black. John Gruden led Vegas Raiders, but now he's no longer the head coach. Resigned a few hours ago. But as mentioned, yes, catch you up. Some stats at the end of regulation, tied at 25. Colts, Ravens, as we hit overtime. Carson Wentz is 25 of 35, 402 passing yards and 2 touchdowns. Lamar Jackson's 31 of 37, 394 passing yards and 3 touchdowns. Both quarterbacks sacked 2 times apiece. We've had a fumble apiece by both teams. Couple missed kicks as well. Penalties, not a whole lot. I mean, that last one by Baltimore was just stupid, but then the Colts still missed the kick anyway, and we're going to overtime, and Baltimore now going to receive. So if they score, they win. So it is a new record for an overtime game each week this 5-week first month of the season. New NFL record. On the return from the 5, Baltimore out past the 20, 25, 30, out to the 35 goes Devin Duvernay. So if the Ravens score, they win. If they kick a field goal, the Colts get the football, next scorer wins, whether it's a field goal or a touchdown. Hell, even a safety at that point, the next scorer would win. Let's just hope this overtime isn't as crazy as the Week 1 Monday Night overtime with the Ravens and Raiders. We'll continue to update some final stats and scores once this game goes final. Once again, thank you for tuning in and listening. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe. 1st and 10 from the 32 officially. here in overtime on Monday Night Football. Ravens 1st and 10, tied at 25 at home against the Colts. And Jackson's going to get about 5 yards or so on the run. Touchdown wins it, field goal. Colts get the football.
A game in which they have led by 16 or more in the fourth quarter. Moving to Indianapolis, 1984.
Since moving to Indy in 1984 after they left Baltimore, the Colts are 120-0 after leading by 16 points or more in the fourth quarter. And they blow this lead. We're tied at 25. The Ravens come back, force overtime. Colts had the chance to win at the end of regulation, missed the kick. What a story this would be if they do come back and win and defeat the team, the Colts, that left their city. And then, of course, Baltimore, the Ravens enter in 95. Jackson pass complete near side, big tackle. They want a flag for a helmet to helmet, but aren't going to get it. James Prochet on the catch. It'll be 2nd down and medium here for Baltimore. 2nd and 6 officially. Now we got a late whistle. What do we got here? Are they going to look at the hit to see if it was a helmet to helmet? Or actually, no, the Colt defender that made the hit, he's on one knee as if he's injured. It wasn't a helmet to helmet. It was more of a shoulder to helmet. We saw that yesterday, though, with the tackle by the Denver Bronco defense on Juju Smith-Schuster. And now 19's done for the season with having to get surgery on his shoulder now. So who knows? He might have a concussion there after that hit. But 2nd and 6 for the Ravens after the timeout by the officials. 8:52 to play in overtime. From the 44, Jackson near side, complete to Hollywood Brown. Stiff arm, out of bounds at the 32. Touchdown wins it. Colts might not even touch it here in this overtime period because they lost the coin toss. But they missed how many kicks there late? The one was blocked. Of course, the potential game winner at the end of regulation was no good. Shanked it left. Out of the pistol. Jackson looking to throw. Dump off complete. And about almost 10 to the 25, but still not enough for a first down. 2nd and short here. But then the Colts even missed an extra point earlier that if they would have had that, they would have already won. But even with the turnovers being split, even, and a non-factor, the Colts blew a lead. Tale of two halves, if you will, but more so like 3 quarters in the fourth, with the Colt defense, along with the Colts offense, playing extremely well. The whole entire team, whole entire game until late in the game here. Screen dump off complete to Murray down to the 12. It'll be 2nd and about 2. So they got about 7-8 shots to punch it in here. Score a touchdown to win this. But then it was the Raven defense that held the fort down here late in the game, and the offense did what they had to drive and score. 1st and goal now at the 6. Handoff Latavius Murray. So Ravens 6 yards away from winning this. 4 minutes into overtime, and the Colts might not even get it. don't even touch football in OT. That's why they need to once again change the overtime rule. Have it as college, untimed overtime period. I wouldn't necessarily say start at 25-yard line, but if somebody scores, well, the other team once again gets a shot. Going to have a Colt timeout. Be first and goal, officially from the 7. First and goal, Ravens at the 7. MVP chance for Jackson? No. No, not the way Josh Allen played last night. Not the way Justin Herbert's playing right now out in L.A. Jackson trying to quiet the crowd. Hell, Carson Wentz put on a show tonight. 402 passing yards and 2 touchdowns. And then the defense late couldn't hold Baltimore on offense. That's what I'm saying. Tale of 2 halves, tale of 3 quarters in the 4th. Because it wasn't until the 4th until they started to come back. And, the Colts played extremely well until then. A few missed kicks hurt them, of course. You always got to rely on your special teams for the brand. And, of course, on the flip side, the Ravens here late, able to drive and score like it's nothing, just like Indy did, early in this game. Be second and goal now from about the 6. Now, if, say, they fumble, because we've seen how many fumbles tonight, especially by Lamar Jackson, and then the Colts, all they'll need is a field goal to win it because the next score will win. Because this opening sequence with the scoring, if you score a touchdown, you win on the opening drive of overtime. It'll just extend and then go into, hey, like next score wins. Like kick a field goal or turn it over. I think you get my gist. Pump fake by Jackson. Pass going to be caught. Touchdown Baltimore. They win it in overtime. 31-25. Wow, what a comeback. What a comeback. The Colts are now 1-4. Baltimore advances to 4-1. Got to be able to close out games. You got to play better defense when the game's on the line. You can't let them drive. What was that? 3-4 straight drives in a row. They ended with touchdowns. Just as they started the game, 3-4 straight drives on 3 and outs. And at halftime, it was 10-3. And here this second half, we blow up after the John Gruden news. And the Baltimore Ravens come back at home and defeat the Indianapolis Colts on Monday Night Football by a final score of 31-25. As Jackson, 4 passing touchdowns, 2 apiece to Mark Andrews and 2 apiece to Marquise Hollywood Brown, who caught the game winner from 6 yards out. As in the loss, Carson Wentz finished 25 of 35 for 402 passing yards and 2 touchdowns. Jonathan Taylor, 15 carries, 53 yards on the ground, and a touchdown as well. Jonathan Taylor also had 3 catches, 116 yards receiving and a touchdown. Michael Pittman, 6 catches, 89 yards and a score. Paris Campbell, 4 for 56. Mo Cox, 3 for 50. Zach Pascal, 3 for 48. Granson, 2 for 19. Doolin, 2 for 13. Marlon Mack and Jack Doyle catch a piece for 7 and 4 yards, respectively. And then Baltimore, Lamar Jackson in the win, 31-25 in overtime. Once again, finished 37 of 43, 442 passing yards, and 4 passing touchdowns. Also led the Ravens on the ground, rushing 14 carries, 62 rushing yards. Latavius Murray, 6 carries, 17 rushing yards. Mark Andrews had 11 catches, 147 yards receiving, and 2 scores. Marquise Hollywood Brown, as he caught the game winner from Lamar Jackson, who's now being interviewed on the field from Lisa Salters to wrap up NFL Monday Night Football. Hollywood Brown, 9 catches, 125 yards receiving, and 2 touchdowns. Devin Duvernay, 4 for 45. Sammy Watkins had a quiet night, 2 catches, 35 yards, as did Devontae Freeman out of the backfield. He had a few carries on the ground as well, but more so better off in the receiving game tonight. 3 catches, 34 yards. Tyson Williams, the same goes for him, as Latavius Murray, as well. 2 catches for about 15 yards apiece. Prochet the same, along with Josh Oliver. Lamar Jackson and Carson Wentz in a quarterback duel. Colts blow a lead on the road on Monday Night Football. Had them right where they wanted them, and of course, let them off the hook. We'll see if Frank Reich gives a Dennis Green press conference losing on Monday Night Football tonight by any means or not. But no, 25 to 25 at the end of regulation. Ravens win the toss, drive and score, touchdown wins it, and they do just that in overtime at home here on Monday Night Football. 31-25 your final score as the Baltimore Ravens defeat the Indianapolis Colts once again, 31-25 to end Week 5. Week 6 will begin on Thursday night with Thursday Night Football with the Buccaneers and Eagles. I'll have live watch-along reactions live right here on YouTube next Sunday with the Dolphins and Jaguars from London, along with Seahawks Steelers on Sunday Night Football, along with next Monday night as well with the Bills and Titans with WWE Monday Night Raw. But tonight, to wrap up NFL Week 5 here mid-October, the Baltimore Ravens once again defeat the Indianapolis Colts by a final score of 31-25, as Jackson finished with 442 passing yards and 4 passing touchdowns, along with 14 carries and 60 rushing yards. Colts blow it. A few missed kicks. Hell, if they would have had that made extra point, they would have won it in regulation. We wouldn't have went to overtime at 25 apiece. But, of course, they also missed the potential game winner at the end of regulation. Didn't even touch the ball in overtime. Overtime rule needs to change, no doubt about it. I mean, we've been saying that for years now, but they're not even touching that, let alone thinking about touching it. But, yeah, we'll see how both these teams do moving forward. The Colts next week, now at 1-4, as they started 0-3. Their only win was last week on the road at Miami. They will host the Texans next week from Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. And then the Baltimore Ravens on the flip side. Now, 4 in a row, have won 4 straight after losing Week 1 to the now John Grudenless Raiders, as he stepped down a few hours ago. The Ravens on a 4-game winning streak. I was going to take a look at the standings a second ago as well. We'll hold off. That'll give us something to discuss Sunday morning during the first game of next week. Following, of course, Thursday night that kicks off Week 6, but on NFL Sunday, Week 6, with the London game, Dolphins, Jaguars. We'll look at the standings then. The Ravens are going to host the Chargers next Sunday. That's an interesting matchup. Might have to backtrack on what I said earlier and not call a 1 or 4 o'clock kick in my area, as I will, in fact, be doing the early game with Dolphins, Jaguars from London, and then also Sunday Night Football. So Sunday morning football and Sunday Night Football with Miami and Jacksonville, along with Seattle and Pittsburgh. But that Charger-Raven game is going to be a game I don't know if I'm going to be able to pass up or not. But I've had the Ravens twice already on Monday Night Football. Going to get the Ravens at least twice more when they play the Steelers. Just had the Chargers last week on Monday night against the Raiders. I feel, as I always try to do, get at least one game for all 32 teams across the league. And I was looking earlier, I am on track to at least get about 28 or 30. I know a few of the teams that I might but might not get, would right now, of course, just depending on how the schedule is and then how good these teams are and if it's worth it, would right now but there's still a lot of football left to play too. The two New York teams with Big Blue and the Jets. So we'll see how, of course, everything plays out these next, what would it be, 13 weeks with 18 weeks, 17 regular season games now. As we wrap up week 5 again here. But tonight on Monday Night Football again, the Ravens defeat the Colts in overtime, 31-25. So, that'll do it for myself, your host, Encyclopedia Sports, Corey and Luke at 96 this evening. So once again, thank you for tuning in and listening. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. Thumbs up button. Share. Those chat questions, comments rolling through as always. And hopefully we'll tune in next weekend as well for more live watch-along reactions live right here on YouTube in college football, the NFL, and professional wrestling. As next week, as mentioned, it'll be Dolphins, Jaguars, Seahawks, Steelers, and then also next Monday night with Monday Night Football, Bills, Titans, and WWE Monday Night Raw. Before the following WWE Crown Jewel week from Thursday, college football that Saturday for Penn State's homecoming Generations of Greatness matchup, a 12 noon kick on ABC, hosting the Illinois Fighting Illini. And then because the Steelers are off that week as well on the 24th, before they go to Cleveland on Halloween, we'll see what NFL game I schedule for live watch-along reactions that afternoon as well. I know the Colts are in primetime that night on the road, Sunday Night Football, taking on the 49ers, as I believe that's what I have penciled in right now, which that right now, still on paper, a good matchup. Of course, we'll see what the 1 and 4 o'clock kicks are, of course, going to be on in my area as well. So, of course, one thing at a time. We'll get there when we get there. But as always, thank you for your support. Thank you for tuning in and listening. And once again, tonight on Monday Night Football, in overtime, the Baltimore Ravens defeat the Indianapolis Colts by a final score of 31-25 as they overcame a 22-3 deficit at home in the second half, come from behind, and defeat the Colts at home in overtime once again. Your final score, Ravens win, defeating the team that used to reside in Baltimore, the Colts,